What up, everybody? You're now tuned into the true definition of a sports fanatic. I'm your host, Brandon Lampley, back today with another live stream. It's been one of those weeks, man. I feel better than I did last week, but it's been a long week once again. But I got my main man back with me again today, Mr. Reid. How you feeling today?
Well, I'm doing good, man. I tell you what, it's weather-wise, it's much better than what it was Saturday when we had the last show.
Oh man, yeah, you was up there. What 34? You said it was 34, but it was nighttime by the time we finished. So I know it dropped into the 20s by the time we were done.
It was 27, and then it was snowing that morning before the game. So, hey, man, bravo,
Ooh,
Florida. Bravo,
yeah,
Florida.
bravo, Florida, man. So, but we're gonna start off today's show. Not talking about sports, but talk about this is I think this is important because it speaks to life in general and how short life is and how precious it is. We'll talk about young Dolph, the rapper who was killed in Memphis a few days ago. I wasn't necessarily a fan of his music. I didn't listen to him like that. I've heard songs, but he wasn't one of the artists that I listened to on the regular. But I always heard about him, always heard his music, heard his name. He was very popular. He's put millions of dollars into his community in Memphis. I mean, he was killed the day before he was going to hand out turkeys.
Yeah.
That's why he was back in Memphis, man. But it goes to show you that no matter where you get in life, no matter what the status is, I mean, you can't get to a place where you feel like you're untouchable. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, for him, the status and level he's been at, there's no reason why he should have been out there in a $400,000 car without security. I don't understand it. It's the same thing with Nipsey Hussle. Nipsey Hussle left his security, didn't say anything, and went and opened the store, and he got killed when his security wasn't there. And I love my people. Jacksonville is always home. North Side is where I'm from. But I'm gonna tell you this, man. It's gonna take one time for somebody to talk greasy about Brandon better not come back to the city. You won't see Brandon anymore. I'm just saying it's what it is because people are dead serious today,
Yeah.
and you're always gonna have whether it's haters, enemies, in which Dolph knew he had enemies. He had been in 3 separate shooting incidents for the last 4 years. One where he got shot up, but he recovered and came back. And he got one of his cars got shot up, and they shot at his car 100 times. He came out unscathed, and he made a song called "100 Shots." So he knew the lifestyle, he knew the risks. It's just unfortunate that this happened to him, man.
Yeah, I mean, actually, I was watching the game, and they, and I think they mentioned it on on the NBA.com show. But
Yeah,
tough situation. I mean, Memphis is a tough town, man. You know,
yeah,
nothing to do with the rap game or anything like that. But it's a tough town, and I didn't know the young man. I don't really listen to his music. But man, anytime it's a tragedy when somebody lose their life, then
yeah,
who knows what the circumstances was, but just a tough situation, man. You got it. To me, seemed like a young guy trying to do right, and
yeah,
I don't know. I mean, just something between young people, boy. You cross someone the wrong way, it's like, man, it ain't forgive and forget. It's like revenge.
yeah.
So obviously, what you said, it's got to be accurate. He had some. He might have had multiple beefs,
Mm-hmm.
but a guy doing right. It just seems like a lot of people that is doing good in our society, young black men. Sometimes they targets for stuff that happened when they were like teenagers.
Mm-hmm.
It's like there's a beef that went on 10 years ago that should have been forgotten.
Yeah.
And once a guy make it, it's like the resentment increases. Like if
Yes.
a guy is done made it, and he's not in the hood. He grew up a lot, and maybe do some things to give back to the community, but really not part of the community no more. Some people take exception to that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or it's always about he think he this now and all this, and then words exchange, and And beef start from words, which is
Yeah.
in my book like crazy. You
Yeah.
know, you shouldn't never have to pick up a gun because a man said something over words. I mean, come on, man. Words is just words. It's nothing. Hey, it's like, hey, man, you just move on to the next day.
Yeah.
But we live in a society now, man, where young folks, man, some young folks, I'm not gonna cast, all young folks, but man, it's just like some young folks, man, it's just like, man, they don't forgive and forget. And who knows what this situation was, but it's got to be something that definitely didn't get resolved. I mean, as you say, he got his car shot 100 times, and
Mm-hmm.
you live the street life, man. It's like you don't never know when your next move, you don't never know when your next day or your last day, and like I say, you always gotta, you know, even in my day as a teenager, man, you always gotta watch your back, and you gotta have
Yeah.
other people watch your back too,
Yeah.
because you a lot of times you get caught when you're most vulnerable, you know.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
just hate to see a young man lose his life. God doing good. Giving back to his community. Obviously the stardom was rising, and this just
Yeah.
cut down completely. Living in New Orleans, man, it was like a common thing. Just you see young guys, you see them on TV, or they're on the news, and they're giving back, and then next thing you read something about he's been shot like 15 times or something. So
Yeah.
you know we gotta change that as a black community, man. We gotta
Yeah.
stop having so much animosity. Somebody make it, praise them. You don't have to get jealous, or
Yeah.
especially young people. There's a lot of rappers in this world. I don't want to really focus on just rapping and that kind of thing, but it's across the board.
Yeah.
When a one man has made it, another man don't see it in the same light. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't. And like I say, I don't think. I hope he didn't lose his life because he was emerging and as a rapper, and somebody else wasn't. But a lot of times it'd be the smallest thing that you ever think about, resorts and beefs getting started. A lot of
Yeah.
it just by words. He said something to me, I said something back to him. He stepped on my shoe at the club, so I got to get him back. I was going into the parking lot, and he came in there, didn't turn on his blinker, took the parking lot. In my lifetime, I've known guys who got killed just for stuff like that. You
Yeah.
know, had a friend this long time ago when it used to be a hotel right there on Gulf Fair. This I don't want to preach, but let me say this, man.
Mm-hmm.
I know a man. Well, he was a couple years older than me, but
What up, T Small?
he lost his life over a parking lot. You know where that parking lot is? The parking lot is at Gulf Fair in '95. It used to be a hotel there, and they used to have a little club there.
Mm-hmm.
And there was an argument about the parking space, and the man lost his life. You drive by 95 and go by Gulf Fair and see where that is woods. The man done lost, what is it, 35, 40 years later, there's nothing there. You know,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
and it's just you when you in the now, it's like mean everything. Oh, he dissed me.
Yeah.
And then 30 years from now, ain't nobody worried about a parking lot. You can't see a parking lot. It's woods. It's gone. It means nothing. And that's
Yeah.
the
It's
kind of reality we got to have, man.
yeah.
I said this on your show a couple of weeks ago. We got guys getting killed because they live on one block and the other block don't like that
Oh
block.
my God. And that right, yeah, yeah. I was just about to say that. Dude, it's blocks of people been killed over. Those blocks are gone.
Yeah.
They're gone now. They're gone. It's been mowed down. It's been turned into something else, man. It's crazy. But you're right. Any little thing, shoot, he said something about me on some record, or he refused to he didn't want to work with me and didn't want to do a song with me, or he disrespected one of my family members because he said this to him or that to him. And at the end of the day, it's all petty. And the two guys who did it, dude, they look young. I mean, those guys, they look really young. They look like they under 22. They look really young. And their life is gone because it's going to be found out because the streets already know who did it. It's just who's motivated to tell the police who did it because the streets already know.
Oh,
You know,
I grew up in the Tupac and Biggie era, man, and it's like, I mean, those guys were talented, and just imagine if both of them were still alive and what the impact could have continued to be.
Yeah. And there are too many rappers, man. It's been, I mean, 10 rappers have died in the last 2 years that I can think of. I mean, and they've gotten killed. And it's crazy. Lil Boosie talked about it years back. He said most rappers get killed in their hometown. And that's a fact. That's a fact. You've had at least five that passed, they were in their hometowns that I know of for sure. And it's sad, but he said because everybody isn't proud of you. Everyone isn't happy for you. It's a lot of people, like you say, with animosity, and they're resentful that you made it and they didn't.
It is. It's a lot of that go on.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest with you, a lot of time, and I've even spoken to the football players, a lot of times football players be advised not to go back to their areas where they grew up at.
And Lito said he'll never come back here.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's been back, but Lito said he was never coming back after his cousin got killed.
Yeah. I mean, and it is what it is. I was talking to Brian Dawkins. Brian Dawkins' wife told him, she had to literally beg him
not
to go back. I mean, your situation, your same friends don't see you the same way they saw you when you was that guy at Reims.
Yeah.
And it's hard, man. I mean, can you imagine? You can't really feel safe to go back in the neighborhood where you grew up at and became what you are. It's a hard thing to do, man. But everybody don't have the same intentions, man. when you're a star, it's a price that you pay. It's not just it ain't just everybody praising you. Some people want to knock you off, rob you, or just hey, he think he better than us or something, and then that creates stuff. That's how the argument gets started, man. And it's like, it's hard though, man. It's hard for somebody that grew up in the hood and can't go back home, But for safety reasons, man, you can't. And a lot of athletes done had this issue. You can't roll with the guys you roll with when you were 17, man.
No, you in a different space, man. You have a different life, things to do. You've experiencing things that they can only dream of, and hate is real. I mean, it is what it is, man. It's unfortunate because most people don't want to put in the work, man. They're lazy. They got their hands out. They want to be given things. I mean, look at the jobs are literally giving out. Like you walk in and they damn near want to put the uniform on you and put a name tag, say, hey, you work for us now, come on and work. Like it's getting to that point now.
It is.
It's crazy, man. But rest in peace to young Dolph. Man, he leaves behind a wife, 2 beautiful children. And she talked to, I heard she was talking about, she said she just doesn't know how she's going to tell him. And when it happened, she said she just didn't know. And I mean, I know that's hard. He was an active father, and it's going to be tough. But I mean, it is what it is. Let it just be a lesson especially to the young black men who want to live that life. Dude, no, fast money, slow consequences. You always have to remember that, man. No matter the life you lead, and be aware of the people you have around you. Like you say, Pookie, Ray, Walmart, Tavis, Little Homicide, and them, you got to let it go. I don't care. Don't care how they view you. They call you. You can hear coon. I was telling my trainer today, I was working out, and I said, dude, I don't care if you call me coon, Uncle Tom, switch out. I don't care what you call me. It's not going to matter to me because I'm going to prioritize my safety at all times.
Oh, yeah, man. I mean, and then, it ain't, the thing back, even in my day growing up, man, being the baddest dude on the block don't mean deadly.
No, it's a lot of them dudes dead.
Yeah. What matters, man, is like, hey, do it the right way, earn a living, have a family, raise your children to be better than what you are. And that's the prize. It ain't the prize of being the thug or the
Yeah,
the tough guy that live on the north side. I mean, that just so like you know, it's
yeah,
not everlasting. You want something that's gonna be everlasting. You don't want something that's just gonna last a couple of months and then you'd be forgotten.
yeah,
We have to get that message through, man. Because like I say, growing up in Jacksonville on the north side, man, I saw a lot of brothers done lost their lives. They ain't nowhere to be found, and it's just because of being. I want to be the hard brother. I wanted to be this, or I
mhm,
did this, and who you gonna live to talk about it? Your children, you die early. I mean, what that impact is on your kids,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
That's it.
and that's when you got to say the elephant in the room too, man. Drugs is a problem. It's still a problem. It's a problem
Still a
in
problem.
Jacksonville.
So you seen the 100,000 overdoses so far this year? They've I think last year it was 100,000 overdoses. They said it's the most in recorded history. The people dying from drug overdoses. So it's
Mhm.
going up. It is a problem, and it's been a problem for a long time. For the last couple of years, especially here, the pill epidemic has been rampant.
Yeah,
Kids have been on these pills, man. You know, it's in heroin. Heroin has been bad. Meth has been bad. And I remember before we go to the next subject, I remember I worked at St. Vincent's Hospital a couple years back,
yeah.
and it was about a month where we had about 7 or 8 young people. These people were all under 25, came in overdosed on heroin, and the police was talking about how it's all linked because he said there's a bad batch going around because whoever the dealers were, they cut it with fentanyl or fentanyl,
Mhm.
that drug. And when you cut it with that, it basically becomes poison at that point. And they were coming in. It seemed like left and right, man, left and right, overdosing. Some were dead on arrival,
Yeah,
and it is. You're right. It is a problem, man. So with drugs, leading these fast lifestyles,
that's that.
thinking you Billy Badass and you bad Leroy Brown, baddest man in the whole town. These are the things that's gonna happen to you, man. Because no matter how hard you are, it's somebody harder.
And you know what's amazing? It's happening in every city in America. And
Yeah,
another drug is like it's just so addictive is the opium. It's like you can go to Walmart or Walgreens and get hooked on it. I mean, they say Prince used to ride his bike to the like Walgreens, and he got hooked on the drug. But it was like a pain medicine that that
yeah,
that started it. And once he got that pain, opium is in pain medicine. He couldn't get off it. And
yeah,
he lost his life over it, man. But it's a lot of stress in the world, man, but you can't solve it with them drugs, man. I mean, and
no,
who to me to say some advice to others, but hey, that's I can honestly say that's one thing I never done in my life is do anything with drugs.
yeah.
It
I've seen
shortens
the
your life, man.
devastation.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it shortens your life. I haven't got cousins and all that, so it
mm-hmm,
ain't like my family ain't been, it's impacted it, but
yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. So when we gonna move on. Rest in peace to young Dolph.
it's
Sad situation, but yeah, man. Hopefully the family can find some peace amongst all of this, and the shop owners, the Makita's Butter Cookies, where he got shot. He promoted their business, and he was there. They say fairly often, and they're pretty much boarded up, and they're out of business right now. Due to what's going on, man. So, I mean, hopefully, they can get back on track as well.
yeah.
But we're gonna move on. And we're gonna talk about we gotta talk about this guy, man. Zach Stacy. Have you seen the video?
Mm.
I'm telling you, people, the video. If you haven't seen the video of Zach Stacy assaulting the mother of his child, is graphic. So if you are a former, you're a domestic violence survivor, it's triggering. Don't watch it, because he's a former NFL running back. Dude is still in great shape, and this was a small white woman, and he ragdolled her. He threw her into the TV, punched her. all kind of stuff, man. And after watching that, I was like, dude, he's got to he's got to go to jail. They got to put him under the jail. He shouldn't see the light of day again, man, because they're broken up.
Mm-hmm.
So just imagine what was going on when they were together. And she said that he's done that on several occasions. She just happened to have cameras this time to catch him doing it. But I don't understand. I don't understand men who get to that point. You know, I told the ex-girlfriend years ago, and I said it before. I told her, I said, if a single thought comes to my mind for me to want to put my hands on you, I will stop talking to you, and you'll never see me again. Mm-hmm. You'll never see me again. I said, because once it gets to that point, it's not going to get better. Mm-hmm. It doesn't improve after you get to that point. The relationship's not going to improve after somebody puts hands on somebody. It's not. It's not. Now, they may stop for a while, but it's not going to get better at that point. So you have to walk away, you know?
Yeah, that's a bad situation, man. I didn't see the video, but I saw about I think it was, so he was arrested though, right?
Yeah, he fled Florida, and they called him. I don't know where they called him at, but it was happened here. And he fled the state, but they called him and brought him back.
Yep, that's domestic violence, man, was a lot rough. Well, it was worse than what it is now.
Yeah.
You know, there used to be a time where policemen would knock on the door of a home in the 70s and they couldn't do anything. You know. Mm-hmm. And that's been a problem for a long time. It's just more awareness about it now. And the women have a lot more options. But the women in the 50s and the 60s and the 70s, they didn't have options. You know?
No.
They would literally call the police, and the police literally would say, "We can't do anything. Whose name on the house?" And they would say, "Well, his name on the house, we can talk to him, but we don't have any jurisdiction to take him out this house with his name on the property."
Yeah.
And it was like that.
Yeah. Yeah. And then they had nowhere to go. So she's in an abusive situation. He's the man bringing in the money. She's a housewife. So she hasn't acquired any skills. I mean, at a certain point, they couldn't get bank accounts. They couldn't get houses without a man. I mean, feminism existed for a reason, and it needed to needed to come around because there were so many things they were behind in. But in that specifically, though, you talk about women who had no way out. I mean, they had no options, and then you don't want to leave your children too. So where are you going to go? What are you going to do? That's why the awareness is up. That's why they have places, shelters for women and children. You know, you don't have to go through this. You have to speak up, you know, because it's not going to stop. At no point is it going to stop.
No, that's not going to stop. And another thing is, it's just, you know, you look, I mean, women have literally lost their lives, man. I mean, it's women.
She's fortunate that she didn't.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
And it's just you know, you look at a guy as big as that guy is, and it don't make any sense whatsoever. Even from the video, even if you don't have a video, man, it's like the easiest thing as a male as me and you could do is just go away. Just get in the car and then go. Please. When they get to a situation where it's you know, you in her face and she in your face, the best thing you can do is be a man and move on and take a ride.
Yep.
No, because it ain't gonna get, and it's not gonna get better. It's gonna get worse, and it's gonna get worse for both. You know, I mean, now they have a situation. If whoever throw blows, it doesn't matter who's first or who's second. Both go to jail.
Yeah,
both.
Yeah, both. Both go to jail.
Yeah, both.
So, yeah, I have seen that. You know, even though it's not a laughing matter, but Mike Epps is joking.
It's not laughing.
Mike Epps jokes about it. He said, the new rule now is whoever gets the phone first, the other going to jail.
Like both go to jail. It doesn't matter about the phone.
Yeah.
But it's a problem, man. And you know, I say this from when you look at what progress is, you can see how things is from the 70s, and then you go. I mean, I will say that it's been progress has been made in domestic violence because they had no
Yeah,
rights at all. You know,
yeah,
none. You
yeah,
know,
yeah,
and
yeah.
it didn't matter about like well, even if they had the visual evidence, if he didn't do it in front of the cop, he wasn't getting arrested.
Yeah, yeah. This is true.
So,
Now, one of the things I will say, and might be a bit controversial, and you don't have to join in on this if you don't want to, but I'm going to speak my mind. Now, I will say that, we talk about men and holding men accountable for their actions and what they do, and we should. He should be punished to the fullest extent of the law. But I find it funny that they don't want us to talk to women about the decisions they make and the men that they choose. I mean, you can kiss my behind if you don't think I'm going to educate my daughters on men like that and
no,
hold her accountable, saying that, baby, you got to leave. You got
no.
to go. This man means you no good. You have to be accountable for what you have done as well. This is what you chose. So, hey, you made a mistake. Everybody makes a mistake. The guy doesn't start out the first date slamming you through the table. Those things don't happen. But once it happens, you have to see the behavior and you have to go. You got to go.
And you
You
know
got to
what,
go.
Brandon? Another thing I done found out. This stuff don't start when they 21 years old. You know, this stuff go on in high school, man. They have
Yeah.
literally boyfriend and girlfriend where the boyfriend beating the hell up out of the girl.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
have had situation in my family where and it's like it don't start when they grown. It start in high school, and the girl obviously don't want to get the boyfriend in trouble, and they keep it quiet.
Especially if he's a football player.
Yeah, yeah,
When I was coaching, we had kids, dudes them putting hands on his little
yeah.
girlfriend. Hey, she's like a sophomore, he's a senior. She don't want to get him in trouble because he got a future in football and stuff. I've seen it.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's been a problem, you know. But I will equip if I ever have daughters. I tell my sisters, I got nieces. I'll tell all of them. You have to be accountable for who you choose. You got to. You have to. You can't. When you play the victim, you give away your power. I don't think people really understand that. Is when you play the victim role, you render yourself powerless. Like stuff
Mhm,
just happens to you, and that's
mhm.
not how life works.
No, no. But I also would think that even going into middle schools and junior high school, man, I think young men and young girls should be told
Mm-hmm.
about just handling your temper. How to control temper. Don't let things get out of control. And I think it got to be more of that being taught in the schools.
Yeah.
How to calm the situation.
Mm-hmm.
How to just control your temper, because a lot of us don't know how to control it. We
Yeah.
don't know how to. It's an insult to walk away. I don't know why,
Yeah.
but for some they feel it's an insult. That, oh man, that's not man like, but it is man like, man. You got to think about what the repercussions is from your actions. You don't want to
Mm-hmm.
be 17 and you done throwed your life away because you was around there beating up on your girlfriend. You
All
know,
right. All right. All right.
and no matter how you slice it, it's wrong. It's wrong, 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 wrong. It ain't no justification, and no man put
No.
his hand on a woman or a
Nope.
girl or whatever. It's no justification. It ain't about provoking. It ain't. It's just, hey, look, get out of the situation. A lot of times fellas say, well, she provoked me. She was in my face. Say, look, man, just get out of the situation before it escalates. Just
Don't
move.
care.
Yeah,
Don't
get
care.
out of the way.
I don't care. The only way you're going to be justified in doing what he did, she had to pull a gun on him. That's
Yeah,
the only way.
yeah.
That's the only way. You are in fear for your life. You feel like you're about to die. She has the upper hand and you feel like you're about to die. That's the only way. Other than that, walk away.
Yeah.
Bigger, faster, stronger. Walk away. If y'all get into it, 9 times out of 10, you're going to get the upper hand and you're going to jail. It is what it is, man.
That's the consequence. You go to jail,
Yeah.
you throw your life away.
Yeah.
You know?
Like I seen like some stats on domestic violence, and it surprised me. They say 70% of domestic disputes are initiated by the woman, and which means that she incites it, she gets them going, rouses them up, says whatever, and she gets the initial thing started. But they suffer the most injuries from it. They die the most because, of course, the men are bigger, the men are stronger. So when I saw that, I said, man, I was like, we want to talk to men about what they shouldn't do and how men shouldn't do this. But when you want to say, well, women should do that, oh, that's sexist, that's misogynist, you should. No, it needs to be education on both sides. Because come on, I personally know men in my family, brothers, cousins, women have put hands on them and they didn't do anything. Mm-hmm. Seen it myself. Seen the dude slap dude right in the face, right in front of him, because he said something. I've seen those things. Seen my brothers with scratches, scrapes, and all over them. I've seen these things, man. I had my god brother played for Clemson. One of his issues when he was up in Clemson is because his girlfriend was putting hands on him. He said he was coming to practice, scratches all on him and beat up. You know, because he wasn't fighting her back, because he knew he would go to jail. Most guys know that if I do this course of action, I'm going to jail, especially a black man. You know these things. So they sit there and take it. But even in those situations, you got to walk away. You got to walk away. You got to leave.
I'll tell you what, man. Share this little story. My first duty at LSU wasn't to cover the football team. I had to cover a domestic violence trial for one of their players. His name was Anthony Marshall, who went to the NFL. And I say this to this day, and this was almost 20 years ago, that if he hadn't been a football player and he hadn't been in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, he would have still be in jail from from the evidence that the police gathered from that investigation and from what was said at that trial and her testimony. There's no way in hell he should not even be walking the streets right now from the evidence that they had against him. But since he was an LSU football player and he had who knows how much LSU was paying this lawyer, he was good. He got off with community service and he still played 8 games the season that this stuff happened. It happened the summer of the season. And I mean, I have never heard, there's just, when you get pictures and if you get testimony and you get the facts from the police report, from what she's saying on the 911 call that's happening at that moment, man, I mean, that's the kind of evidence they had against him. He didn't have to get on the stand. She got on the stand. And they're like, man, I say, man, this dude was beating this woman like she was just, beating her all around the apartment. He's 6'2", 220, about 225, and she was about 5 when she's about 5'3", about 100, and I don't even think she was 125 pounds.
And that sounds like Zach Stacy and his mother of his kids. Little small woman, and he still looked like he can play today. And no contest.
And another thing is, when the trial was going on and she was in testimony, she said she still love him. and take him back. She said, I'll take him back. And yeah, I still love him. Yeah. That's my first job. Man, that trial went on for like about 10 days.
Wow. That's the other aspect of it, is that even with all of this, he could probably she probably take him back. And that's insane, man. But that's their choice. That's their life. That's what they want to do. There's nothing you could do about it. You got to let it run its course. I always said that whether it's women in my family, friends, or whatever, when you come and you're dealing with a guy who's been abusive to you, if you're not trying to actively leave and you're going back, there's no reason for me to get pissed off and want to go beat him up or do something to him, because you're going to be right back with him after I'm in jail for putting hands on him. I'm not doing that. Unless you're talking about actively leaving and trying to get me to help you to leave, we don't have nothing to talk about if you're staying. If you're staying, okay, stay. I'm not. Hey, that's what you want to do. Do what you want to do. but I'm not getting involved if you're going to stay with a man who's going upside your head. I can't do nothing about that.
Yeah, sometimes that's a fatal mistake too.
Yeah, it is. It is, man. But it is what it is, man. So, man, Zach Stacy, he's going away for a long time, man. Long time. It's a wrap. It's a wrap for him. And he was the youth football ambassador for one of the bowls. I can't remember one of the bowls, and they announced that they partnered ways with him, of course. And I'm like, dude, you're a guy who's in the NFL, most likely made a couple $1 million, probably still got some money left if he was smart about his money. You got to sound like a great job as a youth ambassador for football for one of the bowls. You're a good looking guy. You can get pretty much any woman you want. You could call your shot, but yet here. And still, no matter what she said, no matter, I don't care if she cheated on you with your daddy. I don't care. There's nothing that she could have said.
But you know what, Brandon? That's another problem. That's another problem for fellas. The fellas got temper problems, and if they got like emotions where they're not trustworthy, or they don't trust someone, and you, if they got that type of personality, then they better not be with somebody that, you know, they go to the store and be gone for 20 minutes and then all hell break loose when they come back. Yeah. If they got that type A personality, it might be best for them not to have anybody. Yeah. Because 9 times out of 10, that's the person that's the abuser right there. The one who, you know, it will, you know, question this, question that, 20 minutes gone, start calling.
Shoot, look at Ali Alubaban, I think that's his name, TikTok star. Who had 2.4 million followers on TikTok, and he had his wife on there with him. And dude making money, decent looking guy. Him and his wife, they were going through, they were getting ready to separating. He had went to a hotel, and she was living at their apartment. So he broke into the place a few days before, trashed it, and installed a listening device on his daughter's iPad to spy on his wife, who they were, I guess, going through a breakup. And he heard her with some guy who they claimed was just a friend there. And he went to the house, shot him and his wife, shot the guy and shot his wife and killed him.
Man, that's crazy. And also females, they're guilty too now. They get this concept that you cheating around, and they put trackers on your car and know your number on your phone that they can unblock the phone. You sleep at night and they looking at the phone, and next thing you know, the phone upside your head.
Yeah.
So it happens on both sides, man.
It does, man.
And it ain't just black. It happens in white, man, black, everywhere. Mexican, New York, California.
It don't matter.
Rich, poor,
movie
star, construction worker.
Yeah. Shoot, look at the baby, the rapper. He had to go on IG Live when the mother of his child was at his house and she wouldn't leave. And she got 2 assault charges now from that she's facing from putting hands on him. If he hadn't recorded her, she could have said he did anything and he'd be done right now. Oh yeah. So it's sad, you know, but people got to learn to walk away, especially the guys. Guys, you have preached that to guys more than anything, because you got to know, no matter the situation, you most likely are going to lose. You have no leg to stand on when it comes to allegations and things like this, man. You got to move on.
Especially, man, you got a relationship that's not built on trust. There's gonna be some issues, man.
Yeah, man. That's it, man. But
you think that woman cheating on you, might as well, the safest thing, just go on and file the divorce papers. Don't try to fight it. Just go on and get the divorce.
Go on, get it done, man. Go ahead and get it done.
And you know, that's another thing too. One more thing about this, man. When you like, if you're in a relationship and you're in a married relationship and y'all having issues and then when something go wrong, then you talking about, well, we're gonna work it out, and it just continue to be an issue. And you on the threshold of separating and not separating, but because it is to that, you better go on and separate, because that a lot of times that's where the stuff happens right there.
Yeah.
When the marriage, you know that marriage ain't gonna work, and it's just a bunch of infighting this. They fighting over this, they fighting over that. You may be even looking for an apartment or something, trying to get out, and then just something escalate. And a lot of that domestic violence happen in situations like that, man.
Yeah, yeah, it does, man. But well, that's it. We're gonna move on. Last topic before we get to the Jags and get into some of this Jags talk. Talk about Mr. Antonio Brown. He made
Yeah, I just read
Antonio
about
Brown.
that this afternoon, man. Tampa time.
AB, yeah, and AB is making headlines once again. It's something that he has done a lot in his career. He's known just as much for his on field prowess, as much as his off field antics, which is sad, but it is what it is. But he had a former chef who accused him of having a fake vaccination card, saying he bragged about getting a fake vaccination card. And so the chef, put it out on social media. And of course, the NFL investigated immediately. And come to find out, his lawyer said that he is indeed vaccinated. So that's not an issue. But this all stems from him, a brunch lawsuit, and him not paying the chef. And and we don't know the reason that he hasn't paid the chef, because you would assume that if people are like, well, you got millions of dollars, why he not paying people for their service? Hey, you don't know this. I don't know the situation. I don't know what happened. Who knows if that person deserved whatever the funds they say they deserve or whatever, or maybe they want more money than they actually got. Don't know. But for him, for this to get to this point, I think is a lack of judgment by him, because this is something that a distraction that you don't need. You're on your last stand in Tampa right now. You
Yeah.
still a one of the top receivers in the game. He's fully back. He looks good. He looked like he can play a few more years at a high level. You don't want this to be it for you over something petty and stupid like you not paying your former chef. Something like this, man, it's gotta go away. Go ahead, settle it. Say, hey, what can we do to make this go away? Because I don't need this type of drama. I've already been in trouble. I've already had my issues. Because Tampa Bay right now, if let's say Tampa Bay was undefeated, the offense is humming and they doing really well. Something small like this, they be like, you know what? We don't need this distraction, AB. You got to go. But right now they need him.
Yeah.
So the fact that they need him, he's gonna have a job as long as they need him. But as soon as that baggage outweighs his talent once again, he's gonna be gone, just like in his previous stops.
Yeah. Hey man, I agree with everything you said. And he's like the last guy on that roster that should have anything that's gonna lead to trouble.
Yep.
He's the least guy on that team. And I read the story about Tampa Bay Times, and they got, I think they got one of the documents or something from the chef. I think he kind of
Mm-hmm.
has the document proof or something that it was fake. And it's just like, man, this guy got a problem with paying people. He had a situation before about not paying somebody. I think
Yep.
the catering or something. And it's like,
Yep.
you
A
know,
personal trainer too.
yeah,
He didn't
personal
pay him.
trainer, and it's just like, man, do you just? I don't understand it, man. I mean, as hard as it was for him to land with Tampa Bay, after the situation happened in Oakland with the Raiders, and I don't know, it just seemed like, man, the least thing that they're gonna always have a trail is that vaccination card. You can't lie your way out of that vaccination card, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna come back at some point, some way. It's gonna be verification somewhere down the line,
Yep.
and you just making things more difficult than what they should be. And then, I mean, he's a guy that's basically one more strike and he's out, man.
He's out.
no,
He's done.
and to be honest, if it wasn't for Tom Brady, Tampa would never signed him.
Would never
And
happen.
actually, the head coach was very reluctant the first time it happened, and they didn't really, it took Tom Brady to go into that office and really convince them that we need this guy. But other than that, if it hadn't been for Tom Brady swinging and just, pulling that lever for him to come to that team, they wouldn't have signed him. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, he should be forever grateful. But man, that just shows you that a guy with so much talent that he has, that he's on his last. This is it. You know, I mean, I don't know if even now, if he was to get released by Tampa Bay, I don't think the Rams or somebody would sign him, even though he's
No.
talented. You know, he won a
Yeah.
Super Bowl, but it's always something. It's just like, you know, it's a 3-4 month period. There's something else. It's something else. It's something brewing. It's something else. It's something, you know, and it's just like,
Yep.
man, can you not realize how fortunate you are being an NFL player and you jeopardize it every time you do something stupid?
Yeah.
I mean, it ain't a first offense, man. This is like
No.
one more strike and he's out.
Yeah. It's a pattern of behavior. You
Yeah,
know.
it is a pattern of behavior. Hell, it was even a pattern of behavior when he was in Pittsburgh.
Yep.
Pittsburgh just, you know, they wanted to protect their brand. They just didn't come out. But he did a lot of crazy stuff up there in Pittsburgh. It just didn't get out.
Yeah. Oh yeah. 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 They
Him
protected him.
and Le'Veon. You
Yeah.
know, they protected it because they don't want to be, you know, Pittsburgh got the Steelers is a prideful organization, and they don't want to have nonsense that tear down that franchise with so much great tradition and all the
Mm-hmm.
things that they built, that they just didn't want to have this story come out this here, because they felt it was tarnished. It would tarnish the franchise, not tarnish these two knuckleheads. You
Yeah.
know, but you know, I don't know, man. You know, if he falsified, he's gonna have to deal. You know, I mean, he'll deal with the consequences from the league once they've investigated and figure everything out. But I read that story today, man. It looked like things are very concrete. You know, I know the
Mm-hmm.
guy got a vendetta. He didn't get paid, and obviously you know, he's got an agenda too. But you know, it looked like
Mm-hmm.
his stuff is factual though. So it is
Yeah.
what it is, man.
So I think that when a lady got busted, and I don't know how much time they gave her, but she was had fake vaccination cards, and she was like one of the top people doing it. She had sold cards to NBA and NFL players. And
Yeah,
it came out when she had got busted. So it makes me wonder, was he one of the ones who bought a fake vaccination card from her? Because I know once she got busted, those ones who bought it from her, they were like, they had to go get the vaccination at that point. You had no choice
yeah,
because you're at some point you may be linked back to her because they're going to check vaccination cards. I know when that story came out, they were checking the validity of all vaccination cards, both leagues, I'm sure, and they're
yeah,
doing it now. This story is going to make leagues look at vaccination cards and trace it back to the manufacturers of the vaccination. All it is a simple phone call. Hey, do you have records of this person getting the vaccination? That's all they have to do. It's a yes or no. So those guys who had to, because there's some of them in there. It's some players right now in every league, they got fake vaccination cards. This is a
mhm,
wake-up call. You want to keep your job, you don't want to face punishment, you better
mhm,
go get it.
yeah,
You can't Aaron Rodgers your way out of this
yeah. You're right. I mean, like I say, when you got a document and you got registration, you know, you have to be registered to get a shot. So all that go back to
one. Mm-hmm.
registration. And if those dots not the I's, T's, dots, whatever it is, and it don't come back to, because all it does, like you said, all it takes to verification is a phone call.
Yes,
You
sir.
cannot explain if they don't have no record of your shot.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just amazing to me, man. Like, you know, come on, man. We live in this world, man, where you gotta stop doing dumb things, man. You got Brown or whoever else trying to beat. You can't beat that system, man. It's not. You
No.
can't. You can't do it. You can't do it with a fake vaccination card. I mean, that's almost like going to the bank and they got the money. You know, they got down the money, and you say you didn't steal it.
Yeah. And it's clearly you got this all
And
on
you,
your fingertips,
it's
on
all
your
on the fingers
clothes,
and
and your hair.
everything, man. You
Come
got
on,
red
bro.
dye all over the money on your money bag, and you didn't
Yeah.
do
Yeah. Right. It's
it.
stupidness,
You
man.
can't be dumb and be a crook, man, or whatever.
Yeah.
So come on,
Yeah.
man. I
Yeah.
mean, and all it is, get the if it's affecting your livelihood that much, get the shot.
Get a shot. Get the shot. Get the shot, man. Get the shot. It's just it is what it is, man. But yeah, that story. I saw that and I said, yeah, we definitely got to talk about that because Antonio Brown is a special case, man. But
Yeah, man, I tell you, the guy got talent like hell. And it's just
yeah,
one dumb thing out of his name, one dumb thing out of his name, one lawsuit here, one this here,
oh
one that
yeah,
there. Just, the
mm-hmm.
stuff that happened with the Raiders, I don't know, man.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, it is what it is. Oh, one last one before we go into the Jags, and Jaguars and Colts, and preview next week. Baker Mayfield. So it's been very interesting the conversation I've seen around Baker Mayfield, and I've seen a lot of fans talk to diehard Browns fans. A couple guys I work with, they've been fans. They from the area. They don't think Baker's the guy. They say it's been grumblings in the dog pound and in Cleveland faithful that they don't think Baker's the guy. They said they'd rather give Case Keenum a shot than to pay Baker Josh Allen money and to pay him Dak Prescott money. Like they don't want to do that because they don't think he's the guy. And I watching him, he's hurt right now. So it's hard to judge him off his play right now. He says the most beat up he's been in his career. He got a shoulder issue. I think he got some other issues, maybe some abdominal issues or something like that. So he's really, really beat up right now. So he's not playing his best football. But going forward, man, I would say I would be kind of worried too. I would. Because if you think about the dominance of the Browns and how great they is, it's the running game and it's Myles Garrett and that defense, man.
Mm-hmm.
When Odell was out last year, that 9 games, he only had 11 touchdowns in those 9 games as a quarterback. Those are pedestrian stats at best, So I don't know, man. It might be time for Cleveland to find him another guy.
I don't think he's the man. And I've said this for a couple of years. You think at some point the maturity kick in, but he's got to become a leader. I don't think he's a leader. I don't think he's a leader of men. I think he's a guy that worries about his own brand. I think he's a guy that cares about his persona. I don't think he's a guy that can lead people in the locker room, Yeah, and I think he's too touchy-feely to be a leader for number one. I just think he's too I mean, just like the Odell situation, it was a back and forth situation. It was like, come on, man. You the leader of the team. You don't even let that get out of the house, man. You work with a talent like that. You don't get where, because to me, and the daddy got proof. He might have was not trying to throw to him, thinking that he come out being bigger than Mayfield or something. And when you got that type of reaction where you don't want anybody else on the team bigger than you on the offense, you got some issues. You can't lead a team to wins if you only worrying about your own Superman stripe in the middle of your shirt.
Yeah.
It's something like the White Howard. I used to say the White Howard is a great player, but the White Howard's ego it precedes him. You can't go to the Lakers and you're gonna take Kobe team and you got a problem because he's getting all the attention from you.
Right. Right.
And
so, dude, and you may be right about his leadership style because now they got an issue with Jarvis Landry now. You see, our Jarvis Landry talked about him not getting the ball. They say the wide receivers had 46 yards receiving Sunday. And they say that's the least amount of yards in a game receiving by receiver since 2015.
Yeah.
And he go ahead.
I just think their locker room is not it keeps them from winning. There's something about the Browns locker, and maybe it's when you see the same issues year in and year out that keep them from winning. Even I go back to Hard Knocks. I can see things on the Hard Knocks that let me know that franchise, there's internal issues with the Browns and their internal issues with the Bengals And you can watch a hour-long show and see it. It's like you can't have a franchise that every year there's an issue and there's something that's percolating from the outside, from the top to the bottom. It ain't just that they don't have the talent; it's the fact that the culture is something is wrong with the culture.
Yeah.
You don't have leaders, or if you got leaders, they're being ignored, or the voice, somebody that is a leader, his voice is not permeating in the locker room, or you got a whole bunch of teams full of individual egos, and
Yeah.
I think I think that's what's wrong with the Browns. I think you
Hmm.
have to have a quarterback of his stature, number one overall pick. You gotta have a guy who can get along with everybody. I don't think he get along with everybody on that football team. You know,
Yeah.
I think he got some guys that he has good relationships with. But I think if you come into Cleveland like a Odell and you got you you got an ego and
Hmm.
you've been the man or you demand to be the man. I don't think Baker like that type of player. You know, I don't
Right.
I don't think he likes somebody that he feels is going to be overshadowing him. And in order
Hmm.
for you can't be a quarterback with an ego that big that it allows you. I ain't gonna throw to him. I don't want to hear what he got to say. I don't want to hear all that stuff after the game. They couldn't have won without me, and this kind of
Hmm.
thing. And when you a leader at that position, you don't. I mean, you think Aikman cared about what?
Hmm.
Do you think he cared what Irvin said?
Right.
It comes with the territory. He knew that when they drafted him. He don't have to feel privileged because he didn't get the glory when they beat the Redskins and three other guys caught his touchdown passes, and he getting upset because he wasn't mentioned about throwing the passes, but they got all the glory by catching them. You know,
Yeah.
you can't win in like that as a quarterback. You got to have everybody as a person you can get along with or have a conversation to, because if not, you can't lead them. And I think that's
Yeah.
his issue. I don't know if he's a leader. I think he a guy that you can go in the foxhole and fight war with, but
Yeah.
when the war is over with, he ain't a guy that you can go out on the town and drink a beer with. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. And it's funny because Odell was clearly not an issue in the locker room. And how I know this is because when that report came out, we talked about this last week with James Coleman. And when that report came out about him being a malcontent, many Browns players who didn't have to do it came out and said that that was false.
Yeah.
He said they say that wasn't true, and they didn't have to do that. So if he had been a problem, guys would have been like they would have let it roll, even if it wasn't true, and they didn't like the guy, they would have let it roll. But many players came out and said that's not the case. So that lets you know whatever. And then him and Baker never had a relationship.
But
They said the relationship didn't fracture because it was never one to begin with.
another thing, man. When the Tweety Bird in the locker room starts saying this about players, then he get back to the media.
Mm-hmm.
you don't think that come from the GM. It's coming
Yeah,
from somebody inside the locker room, you know.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
It
that's
is.
and that's how factions start, about egos. We need to get this guy out of here. Pointing
Mm-hmm.
fingers and stuff like that. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm writing a story for for the Jaguars on how good their locker room is. Even though
Mm.
it doesn't translate to victories, but but you know, I commend how the team treated Trevor Lawrence after that Colts loss, which is
Oh, after
which
the
is
fumble.
yeah, which is the whole point of the story. I mean, I can't believe everything a coach say, but the one
Mm-hmm.
thing that Urban Meyer has been saying for like the last month is how great the locker room is.
Mm-hmm.
Even though the media can't go into the locker room, you can get if all the players are saying pretty much the same thing, you
Yeah.
kind of believe what they're saying. But I like the fact that they picked that kid up. They didn't. The defense said, you got many more games to play and that kind of thing, and that makes you have a good locker room. It's
Yeah.
like they respect him enough and know what he can deliver, and even though he didn't deliver in that game, they know down the road that hey, he's gonna learn from that mistake. But it's good to hear your guys, man, don't worry about that one. Don't we're gonna get some more. You're gonna win some games for us in the future and those kind of things. And
That's awesome.
that's how you know you got a good locker room.
Yeah.
Because if he was the same quarterback for this team in 2018, he wouldn't have got that treatment.
Yeah. Yep. Well, that's a great way to transition to our next topic, which is Jaguars Colts. And I did hear about that. I did hear how they pretty much picked him up
Yeah,
after
yeah,
he
yeah,
fumbled.
yeah.
They say because they say he was beating himself up. They say he was beating himself up. He's been beating himself up for the last 2 weeks. They said because he missed throws in the Bills game, and then now he fumbled in the Colts game. So but they did say they picked him up and they've been behind him because they understand, they see the talent, and you can clearly see. I saw a breakdown of his game from Sunday,
Mm-hmm.
and they said on the 35 throws, he only had 6 that weren't on target, I think, where they were catchable balls. He had 6 drops, and it was like only I forgot how many plays, but only a few plays where wide receivers were actually getting separation. They say you look at the coach film, and they said, dude, guys are covered. There's
Yeah,
nowhere to go with the football. Guys are covered. And then the drops, man. The drop.
yeah.
We lead the league in drops. And we were 16 going into that game. So yeah, so now we had 22 drops for the season. That's ridiculous. And then
Yeah.
Jamal Agnew, did he say that well, the drops are an easy fix? Come on. Come on, Jamal. Even if they're easy fix, I don't want to hear that. Just do it. Don't talk about it. Just do it.
Well, this is this is the problem I have with the Jaguars, and it comes from the coaching staff. It's like you ask them a question, and they admit that it's been the drop. They can't help but admit that the drops happen. But when
Mm-hmm.
the coach come back and give us a response, well, we doing everything. We got numbers on the footballs, and we asking them like, well, what the numbers do? Say when they catch the ball, we want them to look at the ball and tell us what the number is when they look at it when they're catching it.
Mm-hmm.
And another question was, well, yeah, they're using the jug guns. So the problem I got with them is like if they're doing all this, then the fault must be on the coaching staff. If you putting your guys through all that training, you got them catching before the practice start, the jug guns, you got them doing this, you got
Mm-hmm.
numbers on the footballs where they catching the ball at the highest point. And then I go out there and watch them on Sunday and they can't catch a pass, then who's to blame? It's like you guys doing all this and they still dropping passes. Something ain't right.
Yeah. Something ain't right.
And it ain't right. I tell you what, man, I've been venting about this all week. Um, this LaVisca Chenault, man, you can't. You got him on the outside. I asked him that question. Said, well, why is he playing on the outside? They're like he's more comfortable playing in the slot. He was more effective playing in the slot than he was outside. So their explanation was when DJ Chark got hurt, they said they needed a physical guy on the outside, and all the rest of the guys are Fs, which I'm saying Fs are the slots. So
Yeah.
they wanted to put the physical guy outside, who happens probably to be the slowest guy that they got in the receiver room. Do that
Yeah.
make any sense? And if it doesn't make sense, then if you got him on the outside and he's not really doing anything in 2 games or 3 games, don't you think it's time to come up with something else or put somebody else in the outside if you're not getting the production? I don't need 3 games to just I mean, 3 games is enough for me to say we got to make a change. I don't need to wait till the 4th game to say it's not working. I
Yeah.
mean, shit.
Yeah.
you
Dude,
know, You got to
It's
make changes at the moment. You can't be 2-6 and give it 4 weeks of
mhm,
experimentation and then decide, well, it's not working. But it's 5 weeks in.
mhm. Right. Right now, the Chris, what's going on, Playboy? Hey, we got to get up, dog. We got to catch up. We got to get up. They
Yeah,
say they don't adjust to their personnel. No,
exactly.
they don't. Dude, Sunday they're going to get a glimpse into what how you should use LaVisca Chenault. Debo Samuels is coming to town.
Yeah,
Use LaVisca the way San Francisco uses Debo Samuels.
exactly. That's how you use them. Put
That's how
them
you
in the
use them.
backfield. Put them at receiver. But you get value from him in the game. Make him be a deterrent, or make him be a guy where if they scheming him, then utilize that to your advantage. Put
Yes.
him in motion. I've been saying this for 3 weeks. Put the guy in a motion. So at least it may not change the coverage, but you moving them around. You giving the defense a reason to think, you know.
Yeah.
And then if you're running them routes, stop running the same routes. I watch football all the time. NFL, Jaguars are the only team that don't use the motion. They don't use bunch sets. Every team in the league bunch their receivers up in threes. One go that
Yes.
way, one go this way, one go straight because it's
Everybody run
offset.
pick plays.
Yeah,
Everybody run pick
yeah,
plays but
yeah,
us
yeah,
and
yeah.
rub plays.
You gotta. They don't make it easy for themselves. You don't have to be a speedster to run a rub route. You just moving the guy the hell out of the position so you can open up the field. They don't run. If I was them, I would use the guy on screen passes. If you don't have fast enough offensive linemen that can get out on a pull and have at least one offensive lineman in front of them, and I'm talking about LaVisca, then it's time for you to change your offensive lineman. You
Yeah.
gotta create things. This is the NFL. You can't just go down the field and expect to get open because he's running a route. You got to create openings, and it's
Yeah.
just the
Yeah.
offense is too generic. It's it's like the flippo offense. It's like we know what they're doing before they do it. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
it's too base. It's not enough changes from week to week. They don't they don't the defense is never backpedaling. They're never guessing. They never it's they easy to figure out all the time. That's why they can't score.
Yeah. Yeah. This is exactly it. I'm trying to see. There's an article by David Carr. David Carr has been very critical of the coaching staff and the way they've used Trevor Lawrence. And I'm see if I can find it, but his criticism, I mean, it was spot on the way they were using him. And if anybody would know, David Carr didn't realize his potential in the league because he went to a expansion team where
Yeah.
he was sacked 76 times in like his first 2 years and got his head beat in. And he was set up to fail. But the guy, as an analyst, man, he's pretty good. I've been listening to him for a little while, especially his critiques on quarterback. Him, Orlovsky, and even though Chris Sims kind of seems a little, it's just his attitude sometimes where he's kind of prickish. But
I don't
he
like
be,
Chris Sims.
yeah, I don't really like Chris Sims like that. But I will say, I will give him his credit. He has been correct on a lot of things when it comes to quarterbacks. I
But
will
he
say
doesn't
that.
like Trevor Lawrence at all, though.
No, that's what I know.
He been on
Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence. He said he wasn't supposed to be the number one overall pick. Should have been Zach. I mean, he's not a Trevor fan. But
Yeah.
another thing is I saw the 49ers on Monday night run an I formation with a lead back. Have you saw a fullback or a lead back for the Jaguars in this season? No.
No, haven't seen it.
Chris
Haven't seen it.
Manhurst, a guy with 4 penalties in the same game, he should never. He should be benched for the rest of the season.
Dude,
That's just me talking.
What was when I saw that? I said, what man Hurts got going on today?
Well, most teams it would have been okay. We seen enough, so we don't set you down. We can't have 4 penalties by one guy. I mean,
oh my goodness,
you know. But the offense, man, the offense got to get more creativity. It's almost like we've been talking in a broken record. Look like they bring in another offensive coordinator. Same issue. I can remember last year, but 3rd and 2. What they gonna do?
Yeah.
Swing it out wide.
Yep.
Swing it out wide and on a toss pitch.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, it's crazy, man. But there were some positives from Sunday. One of the positives is that the defense has hit their stride. Yeah. They've hit their stride, man, and they've the first half. Jonathan Taylor, I thought he was gonna go for 250 again. I was like, oh my goodness, can't stop this kid. This is ridiculous. And then the block punt, and I'm just like, it's not going. But man, Josh Allen woke up. He woke up, man. He woke up and he dominated the second half of that game. Yeah. I mean, and it's only a matter of time. Carson Wentz he's going to be without a job because against better defenses, against defenses that have ball hawking players, because we don't have many ball hawks. We play sound defense now, but we don't have many ball hawks. Yeah. Against a team that has ball hawks like New England got ball hawks all over the field. It's going to be interceptions. Yeah. He threw some passes Sunday. I was like, yo, why, dude, it's high school players that don't do this here, man. I was dumbfounded. I said, he's too old to be doing stuff like that. That right-handed throw should have been a pick six. Yeah. I mean, the left-handed throw should have been a pick six. It was ridiculous.
But he take too many chances, and he's undisciplined. He feel he got a strong arm, and he just tossed the ball. I mean, it was one he was running. He's already done gained the necessary yardage, and then he tossed the ball up like it was a damn softball.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Oh, I say, man, this guy here, I can see why it didn't work in Philadelphia, man, because he just is not very smart. He doesn't make smart decisions, man. He's a risk taker, but he doesn't think when he's taking the risk. You can take risks, but man, if you done gain 8 yards on the run, you don't need to do any more. Go to the next play.
Yeah. Oh,
Justin certainly showing improvement in that Monday night show, bringing them back late in the game.
Let's get that out the way. So I found it. So
get away with our best deals of the season at the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Get huge savings on the entire lineup of award-winning.
Man, all these ads. All right, so this David Carr NFL Offensive Player Rankings Week 11 and redrafting the 2021 first round QBs. But we're going to focus on what he said about Trevor. So he says, I believe the Jaguars made the right decision by drafting Trevor Lawrence #1 overall. That said, I don't necessarily like how Urban Meyer is using the rookie. Meyer is running too much of a pro-style offense with Lawrence, doing a lot of drop-back passing and not using his legs in the play-action game. I said that too. His production, 58% completion percentage, 1,983 passing yards, 8 to 9 touchdown interception ratio, 72.1 passer rating, has suffered because of it. The Jags should use Lawrence's running ability to help move the pocket in the pass game and give them another threat in the run game. Of Lawrence's 37 carries this season, 16 have been design runs for 47 yards and 2 touchdowns. Per Next Gen Stats, he had 0 design runs in the first 2 games of the season before having 12 in weeks 3 through 5. Now he's had just 4 since week 6. Allowing Lawrence to be a regular part of the run game will help open up the pass game, which in turn will help limit turnovers and keep the Jags offense on the field. I'm not going to be too critical of Lawrence, who's going through growing pains. However, Meyer deserves some criticism for how he's using the rookie quarterback. And that right there, that's enough for me right there. And he's absolutely correct in that.
Yeah.
Lawrence should be, he got wheels, man. That as we say on the way, when I was coaching football, we had the white quarterbacks and they could move. Yeah, white boy got some wheels. That's just what he do. He can move. So on some of those RPOs, he needs to keep it. It was a few times Sunday he could have kept it, and he had some space.
Yeah,
and they need to do more of that.
Yeah. And they need to run play action passes, but you got to get your running game going. But I just think they got to do more to, keep the defense off balance. I don't think they do enough to keep the defense off. I mean, they don't do anything to keep the defense guessing. And it's just like they too easy to figure out. You got to do something. Like we said earlier, you got to put a man in motion, or you got a bunch set, or you got to do something to not just look the same each week. They almost look the same every week. Like they don't. It may be a different play call on first down, but there's that general scheme of the offense. It looks too much alike from week to week, and that's what they do. The NFL coaches, they look at the tape. They look at they look at 3 weeks of tapes. They come up with type of different. They break that tape down into certain areas where they can that look like we can take advantage of. And it's like these guys don't have a counter move to anything. If I was the Jaguars, I'd just have a wide open attack. I do flea flicker. I do whatever it takes to move those chains. Just do something different. Hell, I
imagine if this defense could play with a lead, what they would.
Yeah. Which is, it's amazing to me that there hadn't been finger pointing, or if it has, it hadn't been a lot of it. Because those guys for the last 2 weeks to give up 16, basically it was 16 points they gave up, not counting the block punt. They did enough in the second half to win. They did enough from the second quarter on to the end of the game to win. I mean, Jonathan Taylor was a non-factor in the second half. I mean, I can't recall what his exact numbers was, but he didn't gain
94. 94 in the first half. I think he finished with 116. So less than 30 yards after the second quarter, man.
Yeah. And another thing I like about their defense is in the past games against the Indianapolis, they basically have been wiped off the field when it comes to the Colts offensive line going up against their defensive front. The Jaguars in past games hadn't been able to match their physical play. But this game, man, they were knocking the Colts linemen back. They didn't get not blowed off the ball in that game at all,
Yeah, man. Taven played another decent game, man.
He played good. Got pressure on the quarterback.
Yeah. Robertson, Malcolm Brown, the inside. Cullen and them did talk about it. He said we're getting inside rush, and it's helped everything.
Yeah, they're getting that inside push, man.
Yeah,
the quarterback never like to get the pressure from in front of him.
Shaquille Griffin is playing excellent. I just need him to catch the ball when it gets to his hands because he didn't drop 3 picks this year, but he's playing really good football. I think he's in the top 10 as far as completion percentage against. So he's playing good ball. Tyson Campbell is I think he's starting to turn the corner. He's played very well the last 2 games. Rudy Ford has been a force. He looks good. Miles Jack, even though he was playing hurt, looks good. Damian Wilson looked good. Even your boy Wingard. Wingard ain't being schemed up like that, man. I saw a chart. I saw a chart where they showed the passes thrown by Trevor and by Wentz. And Wentz, he had nowhere to go downfield. I mean, he had 2 passes over 20 yards. I saw Trevor was all down the field, but that lets me know the coverage is good on the back end as well.
Yeah, well, they're mixing up the zone with a little bit of that man. The only thing I say about Wingard, he missed the tackle on the 34-yard run.
He did. I saw that. I did.
Fault.
Yeah,
he made the dive.
He gave the chicken wing.
Yeah, and he dived in the air.
Yeah, he did. He dived that air.
But that's probably was one of his only fault. But the defense playing good, man. I like their coverage. I like they're keeping the receiver in front of them. They're not getting beat downfield. And it looked like as the game, especially in the Colts game, as the game progressed, they got better. You know, as that game progressed, they got physically. They increased their physical play. The coverage was good. Tyson Campbell kept his man in front of him. So that's a good thing. So that's why I was saying, like, man, this team don't have those personalities like 218 because, man,
it would have been a wrap.
When you playing that good and you peaking, you progressing week to week, and your offense just sputtering. They essentially can't help you win. I know that can get frustrating, man. Defense playing winning football, and the other unit, they're going through the motion and can't generate anything,
Yeah.
And the receivers got to get separation. That's like the rally cry to get separation. But they got, even if he's just two-step drop, pass the ball, let's see, can he gain some yardage after the catch? They got to try something different to generate some offense, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they do. You got to steal a possession or two. You have to, because you have a defense that's going to keep you in most games now.
Yeah.
Against San Francisco is very physical. Yeah. And this is what worries me. They punched the Rams in the mouth the other night, man. I was watching that game and they had their way with the Rams, man. The Rams got to figure it out. Von Miller looked like it's the reason why he was available. Dude, George Kittle turtled that man. I say, I've never seen nobody do that to Von Miller.
Yeah, well, I always say, man, when a team gonna let go of superstar,
it's a reason.
They done saw something that he ain't the same guy, and he ain't looked the same guy in that game. So I don't know, but man, you're right. I just feel that the the thing that about San Francisco, they don't do anything that's out of the ordinary, or they don't do something that's gonna shock you and surprise you. They just say, "Hey, can you stop it?"
They line it up and say, "Stop it."
Yeah, stop it. Sam, you're gonna be a problem for the Jaguars, man.
Yes, he is.
His versatility. Kittle's gonna be a problem. They got playmakers. Jaguars don't, and they're gonna utilize. And then Shanahan gonna be a guy that come up with all these. When it's time for some scheming, he can scheme.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think the defense can hold up. I just think you got to put points on the scoreboard to keep up with those guys.
And I was going to say that. I think one of the keys to them winning Sunday is you have to get to Garoppolo. Yeah. And you got to get to him early. Garoppolo has shown, man, he folds. Yeah. I've seen it. I've seen him fold. And he's not the guy. That's why they drafted Trey Lance. He's going to be out of there soon. So what they need to do, they need to fold him up like a lawn chair early in the game.
Got to get to him early.
Yeah, got to get to him early.
And they got to get a lead, because if they get a lead, they can blitz more, they can take more chances.
And you make Garoppolo throw.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they got to get a lead, man.
You have to.
They got to do the fumble Ruski, do the flea flicker, do something.
Hey, put Agnew back in the backfield again or something.
Yeah, that was a great run, wasn't it?
A great run. Excellent run, man. Yeah.
I say do the fumble Ruski, man, with Cam Robinson.
Yeah.
Put Cam in the backfield as the lead backfield and make him in to be the fridge, man.
Yeah. Something, man. You got to. You have to, man, because you got to score points against San Francisco. And that defense is opportunistic, man.
I'm almost about to give up on LaVisca, man.
It's getting there. And I don't. And then what the thing that's saving him right now in my eyes is the coaching.
Yeah,
is the coaching. Because do I believe that he would be this way in, say, a San Francisco? No, Shanahan would have found a way to use LaVisca Chenault. Yeah. Josh McDaniels in New England would have found a way to use him, man. Pittsburgh would have found a way to use him. Kansas City would have found a way to use LaVisca Chenault. So it's on this coaching staff find out what he does best, which we know once he gets the ball in his hands, it's second to none with him running after the catch. The DBs, it's hard for them to bring him down. Get the ball in his hands.
Well, I say this. Daryl Bevel on Thursdays, when he meet with the media, I think he's one of the smartest NFL coaches in the league on Thursday. On Sunday, I don't know, man. It's like me and you can go and XO on them. You know, it just seems like Thursday he's got the answers. We gonna do this. We need to do this. We got this. We need to do that. And when game time come on Sunday, it's just like what he said just went right out the window. You know, it's like I think he's part of the offensive problem, man. I don't either he's too conservative or he just don't know what he's doing, you know, when it comes to trying to offset that defense. You know, I think he's an offensive coordinator used to having, I got the most talent and my offensive talent is better than their defense. And I don't have to do a whole lot of variation of my offense and it's still going to work. And when you got a team like the Jaguars, the scheme is what's going to, you know, you got to out scheme some teams to win. You know, you can't just, my talent is better than their talent. I got speed that can outrace their speed. He doesn't have it like that, and that might be the problem. It probably was a problem in Detroit for a couple of seasons too. That you have to be original. You got to be like KFC, man. You got to be original. You got to come up with things that I have never seen before.
Yeah, there's a reason he's no longer in Seattle. I mean, you had Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
He's no longer in Seattle, man. So the proof is in the pudding, man. I don't know. It's like you can't be Popovich. So recently they asked Popovich about his success in coaching. You heard what he said. He said, they say, him being successful. He said, draft Tim Duncan. And that's number one. He said, number two, stay alive. That's how he got his success. And of course, you know, he's being funny because Pop is a great coach. But you can't, Darrell Bell don't have that. There's no Tim Duncan here, you know, at least not yet. You know, we don't know what these guys are going to develop into. But until you get that level of player, you got to scheme.
Hey, man, speaking of Pop, man, every team paying them back.
They is.
Every team paying them back right now, boy. I say, Jesus Christ, the Spurs down by 16.
Spurs look rough. We gonna get into some of that too, because
to Memphis, I say Memphis, they down by 16.
to Memphis, man.
Woo! I say payback is a mother, boy. You can't celebrate, man. You can't celebrate like you ain't won before, because they gonna payback get you, boy.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are, man. So Sunday, what's your prediction for Sunday?
I already done made that prediction, man. That one ain't hard to man.
It's not hard.
Jaguars got a good defense right now, but they don't have enough firepower for that team.
Yeah. I think it's gonna be the game is going to be. I think should be a close game, especially early, and I see San Francisco pulling away late. I see them pulling away late as the game goes on. You know, the offense can't sustain drives. Defense is on the field too long. Then they're going to start popping, you know, big plays, and then it'll be over. I think early on though, I see it could be a defensive slugfest early, but Jacksonville not generating offense is going to hurt the defense.
And I like to see Trevor take. You know, I know early in the season he was taking too many downfield shots, but I like to see him, you know. More. Yeah, let's see. Just keep them honest. Let the safety have to play back some. Yeah. So in case he had, in case they do fire it downfield, but Marvin Jones, give me somebody, but at least attempt it a few times during the game, even if it's the first play of the game Sunday. Throw over the top. Let's see. You know.
Let's see. So. And it's funny. I saw where they were talking about, Mac Jones and them destroyed the Falcons last night. That defense they have a championship level defense. J.C. Jackson, Judon is ridiculous, which I watched him in Baltimore, so I knew he was going to be good. Christian Barmore, they got another guy, Gachow, I saw. Dude, he's good too. I say, man, so Bill Belichick has rounded that team. They're rounded in the form. But I saw what they would go ahead.
I say this team should have drafted Barmore instead of CJ.
Yeah. They should have drafted Barmore. Yeah. They should have drafted Barmore. I seen where they were talking about, the talk around Mac Jones. He's had his doubters, but now people are starting to crown him a little bit. And Nick Wright, who's on what's the show? Is it I can't think of the name of their show. It's on Fox Sports, but Nick Wright was talking about it. He put up like a comparison. So he had Mac Jones stats and another player's stats, and the stats were identical. Pretty much yards per game, touchdown interception ratio, the quarterback rating. And he said these are players having the exact same season. One is regarded one way, one is regarded another way. He said, so we need to slow the train down on Mac Jones. And the player who had the similar stats to Mac Jones was Jalen Hurts in Philadelphia, another Bama quarterback. Exact same stats. But what the questions around Jalen is, he's not the guy. Around Mac Jones is, he's going to be the guy for the next 12 to 15 years.
Yeah.
He's good now, and I think he can develop and become a very good player. But Max has a ceiling, and his ceiling is low compared to a Trey Lance, a Trevor Lawrence. Their ceiling is higher. One of the things I already seen with Mac, and which is, I don't know if it's the receivers he has, the scheme, what they're doing, but they can't go downfield, though. Mm-hmm. They had an issue going down the field. And in college, he went downfield, which he had Devonte Smith, who's killing it right now in Philly. They talk about him being too small. That boy can play. What do you know? Devonte Smith can play. We told y'all he could play. Yeah. But they went their attempt to go downfield. They went downfield one time over 20 yards, and it was an interception by AJ Terrell, who looked like he's going to be a good corner. But they can't throw the ball down the field. So they have to get that rectified, because it's not like you got to air it out and be the greatest show on turf, but you got to be able to, like you said, keep defenses honest. And if Mac and that offense can't go downfield when they come against top defenses, it's going to be a wrap, man.
Yeah, you're right, man. You got to get it.
Yeah.
I'm looking to see if the Patriots don't play Buffalo no more this season. Have they already played twice?
I thought they played already. Let's see. Let me see.
I think they played once. I'm not sure twice. I think they played.
Okay, so they've played. Let's see. No, they haven't.
Oh,
December 6th, and then they got them December 26th. So they got to still play them twice. They got to go to the Dolphins. They come, I think, Jacksonville. We go to them. They got the Colts and they got the Titans. So Titans, Bills, Colts, Bills, Jags, Dolphins. So that's a murderer's row, because Tennessee is playing great football even without Derrick Henry right now. Yeah. The Bills are playing good football once again. Then that's going to be tough. The Colts, we've seen what the Colts can do, especially them being, and they want to get Jonathan Taylor the ball more, which they should. They want to increase his workload, which they should. Jacksonville, it's just what it is. But the Dolphins, I don't even remember the last time they've won in Miami.
Who? The Bills?
The Patriots. Yeah, the Patriots, they struggle winning in Miami. Nesco, what's going on, man?
What's up?
Yeah, they struggle winning in Miami. So the Patriots, they're rounding into form, but the talk on Mac Jones, man, it's just 13 touchdowns and 7 interceptions.
Yeah, just calm it down a little bit.
Just calm it down a little bit, man. Just calm it down a little bit. But yeah, Sunday. I don't think San Francisco. I don't think we have enough firepower to beat San Francisco. But I do want to see. I would see a competitive game, and I just want to see more from Trevor because he has regressed a little. But not only it's not just him; it's the whole offense.
Oh,
I mean, we're not even running the football like we were. So.
Yeah.
They got to figure it out.
And then like James Robinson is questionable. He probably
I saw that.
He's the only one. Miles hadn't practiced a lot, but they say
he's good to go.
Yeah, he's good to go. Who else? Brandon Leonard, those guys, I don't think they're gonna play. Him and James O'Shaughnessy.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's it for us on the injury report. I know Rayshawn Jenkins was sick early in the week with an illness, but he was full for the whole week, so he's good to go. Okay. But that's how I see it. I think it'll be like 28-17 or something like that. And I think I think this game will be close early on, and I just think that physical play of the 49ers is going to kind of wear them down a little bit. And I think the difference is they got better playmakers than Jags.
Yeah, they're physical on both sides of the ball.
yeah, they are. Yeah. And they showed it against the Rams, who, if you look at the Rams defensive front, they may be one of the most physical in the league, and they had no answers for the 49ers. I don't think I saw what Jalen was backing up, man. They ain't throw hardly none to Jalen side.
Yeah, no, they didn't. He was still making plays though.
Yeah,
and that position that he's playing now, he's pretty much playing what they use, the way they use Rashawn Gary here. Yeah,
he's like a robot.
Not Rashawn Gary, but Rudy Ford. Yeah. Let's see. He said, "Let's do all we can to get Kayvon Thibodeau." Oh, the defensive end from Oregon. Shoot, I'll take Thibodeau. If a lineman at the top of the draft is available that they like, you can take a lineman. We got to go get a tight end. A tight end is needed. Freiermuth was available.
Yeah, he was. I still don't understand that move at all, man.
I don't understand.
And he was available, second round?
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't get drafted the second round, right?
Second round. Man.
They could have got him. I'm trying to remember. I think they could have still got him at the selection that they picked Walker Little.
Yeah, they could have.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He went after Walker Little. Yeah, he did.
And his position coach, is the Jaguars tight ends coach. So I don't know why they did not get him, to be honest.
Yeah. That'd be one less player you'd have had to go get, man. But I'll take you got DBs. I don't think there are no linebackers at the top of the draft that I would invest in right now. But defensive lineman and offensive lineman, you can't go wrong. I don't think you can't go wrong. Flip a coin. I don't think you can go wrong because you need to protect Trevor and you need to get to the quarterback. So either way, and wide receiver.
Oh, I would even try to make a trade if it's worth their while, man.
Yeah,
I wouldn't even wait till free agency to get a breakaway speed guy. I mean, if Houston is interested in trading Brandon Cooks, I'll find out what they want.
Yeah, Brandon Cooks can still play, man.
Yeah. If nothing else, he can he can stretch the field. So
yeah,
they're always going to have a safety looking at him. So they need a guy like that. You know what he's got? He's quick, he's fast, he can catch. I'll find a way to try to see, can I get a Brandon Cooks on my team when they lack speed, they don't have a breakaway threat. I use him just like the Chiefs use their guy.
Yeah. Now I will say I do like number one from Alabama, Jamison Williams. Have you seen that kid?
Yeah.
Man, that's speed right there. He got angle defeating speed. Guys had angles on him, and he's outrunning him. So that people took issue with Urban talking about the top 3 receivers in the draft. I think Olave, Jamison Williams, and it's another guy, and saying, you know, how he recruited them coming out of high school. And they say he shouldn't be talking about guys that they're interested in and, you know, their needs or whatnot. But I'm like this. It's clear what we need. So he doesn't have to talk about what we need. Just watch the team. You can tell what we need. You know, now I understand playing it close to the vest and not talk about who you're interested in, but I don't the criticism of him in that situation, I'm like, we already know what we need. So it's what it is.
My criticism would be this: if you don't get them targets like you didn't get last year, then that's the criticism is there. You got to get a tight end, you got to get a speed receiver, and you can't make excuses if you don't get them in free agency and get better draft picks. That's going to help. I'm not impressed with some of the draft picks. You moved up 9 spots, and Jordan Smith hadn't got on the field.
Nope. Walker Little was pressed in the service, and what do you know? He can play. Okay. Well, I'm sure Andre Cisco can play as well. You know, he made plays on special teams. Put him in the game, man. Put him in the game. Put Jordan Smith in the game. Man, let's see those guys.
If I gotta play Walker Little at a guard, whatever it takes for him to get in the rotation, I'll do it.
Yes.
Even if it's temporary. Yeah, even if it's temporary, I'll do it. The offense need all the help it can get. I mean, shit.
Yeah.
I wish they would start using some of the practice squad. I want to see Josh Hammond play, man. I mean, I want to see him play in a game, you know. I've seen nothing but impressment during those training camp practices. He's still on the practice squad. So he's doing what he's doing to hold on to that practice squad spot. So you use him in the game. I want to see, can he get open 20 yards down the field?
Yeah.
You know?
And they say he loved the play by Agnew, taking it to the house. That boy was gone. That play by Agnew, man, we need to see more of that. Yeah. I mean, that goes to show the ingenuity and the brilliance of them and them being able to scheme up plays and to generate some offense. They need to do more of that. You got to get creative. You don't have a team that you can roll out, line it up, and say, stop me, like San Francisco. Like, you don't have that. You don't have what Kansas City has, what New England has. You don't have those things. So you got to scheme it and scheme it well, man.
Yeah, they do.
So Uncle John, at the press conference, what is the reply when they're asked about draft picks that are not on the field?
Oh, excuses. Oh, they getting close. They you know, he did admit that Jordan Smith was like, you know, well, we knew when we drafted him that he was a developmental guy, so he's got to continue to work. It's the same old that they're making progress, but we don't see him on the field, you know. And I don't know, man. I think the Trent Baalkes and those guys in that general manager's office, they got to start earning the checks. You know what I mean? They got to, they got to go out and scout or whatever and find guys who can contribute immediately for a football team that's probably going to not win no more than 3 games or 4 games at the most. And you gotta go out and select guys who's going to be immediate contributors. You know, not where you're going to wait 3 years. This franchise can't wait 3 years on a guy. No. And you got to go, and you can't have you got to hit on all your picks, and you got to get guys that you know can step in and play right away. You know.
Yeah.
And if that's sacrificing a position, then sacrifice the position. Because I would rather have a guy, I don't care what position he plays, he's ready to play, and he's going to make a contribution immediately. I will get that guy.
Yeah.
I don't care where he plays at, as long as he can make an immediate contribution. And I'm not waiting like a Jordan Smith where I'm waiting until next year to see what he got. Then this team needs that help. That's the kind of help they need, you know.
Yeah.
Don't draft a tight end if he ain't gonna be ready to play. I don't care where he's from, if you don't think that he can make immediate impact, don't draft him.
Yeah.
No, you're not drafting for backups. You're drafting for a guy that's good enough to go start at the position you need.
As Bill Parcells, aka the big tuna, said one time, you need jars on the shelf. The cupboard is bare right now. You need jars on the shelf. And like Nesco said, he said, Mr. Meyer, we have 4 games left. Let's see now. Yeah, we're 2-7. I want to see Cisco. I want to see Jordan Smith. I want to see Walker Little. Put the whole all the young guys, they need to play.
Yeah. Like you say, you're 2-6, man. There's no window dressing right now. We about to be in Thanksgiving next week. Another month, the season will be over with. And then you got guys that you drafted, had all the praise in the world back in April about what they can do. And this here, our scout did that. And now it's the time to show the proof, man. Let's go play them. Let's see. We got nothing to lose. Let's go out and put them in the game. Get some experience. Yep. You know, I like to see some of the practice. Like I say, I've been saying this for a while. I like to see some of the practice squad guys. I want to see if Josh Hammond can play the way he does on the practice field. I want to see can he carry it over to a game situation. And that's another situation. You're not losing anything. I want to see if Treadway get open, throw him the ball. I don't want to see him block for Agnew on the run. I want to see him to get up. You know, does he still got something left in the tank? I want to see it. You can't. It can't hurt. You know.
Yeah. So they say they're going to play with the wide receiver combinations and see what's the best result, what's the best group to roll out there. I mean, that's something they should have been doing. I mean, dude, you need to, hey, Marvin Jones, you get you on this drive, Visco on this drive, Treadwell on this drive. You got these amount of plays. You know, and I see they released Tyron Johnson. And the kid, he couldn't get on the field. And I guess, dude, if you can't make the team as a receiver on this team, that says a lot about you, man. It does.
Not only that, can't make it on the Jaguar team when you basically the fastest guy on the field, and you still get cut.
Yeah, that says a lot.
I gotta say something else. I almost already said it anyway. I've written about it. I think that they should, if you go back to hindsight, we'll just say we're looking back on what they could have done better in the off season, so they wouldn't be in this position right now on November 19th. I think they should have kept McCardell.
Yeah, I thought should have kept Keenan McCardell.
Yep,
we talked about that before. Yeah,
yep, should have kept.
Yeah,
should have kept one of the. I think they should have kept
Keelan Cole or Colin Johnson. Keep one of them and keep Keenan. Yeah. Keenan McCardell was an excellent coach.
Yep, he got the most out of what he had in his room.
Yes,
Sanjay, I ain't impressed. I don't know if he get the best out of his guys. Something is going on. I don't see production from his coaching.
Yeah.
You know, that's being truthful. You know, he's coached at a lot of different places. That might be a factor, but I don't see production. I see mistakes, but I don't see production. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. So
I also wrote, man, that it's too much of the buddy system in the NFL, man. It shouldn't be where the offensive coordinator got to have a relationship with the previously was on the same staff or know him. Yeah, it shouldn't be, well, I'm gonna go with a guy that I previously worked with. Because it doesn't say anything about is he a right fit? Can he develop talent? Not where the talent is already there. Can he develop and improve the talent? You know, and I think that was the problem.
Yeah,
you know, that he might be a good X and O guy. He might be good when the talent is already there, but when you developing talent, this team, those receivers, don't look like they're getting better to me. Actually, they look like they regressed in some areas.
That's why Trevor's look like he's regressed, because they've regressed as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you got to get a coach who's gonna get the maximum talent out of the receivers room. You know, whatever their strength is, he's gonna get that, and whatever he can add to the table, which I thought that was Keenan's strength, was he could get more from a receiver than just the strength. You know, he could make a Keelan Cole into a guy that wasn't a fast guy, but he could find the seams to get open, and he wouldn't make drops. You know, he got every ounce of talent out of a guy like Keelan Cole. You know,
he did.
Even Westbrook got flaws, but in certain circumstances, and you know, like his first year, second year, he got some production from him. You know,
he did.
And I just see this team. This Sanjay don't look like he knows how to get anything much from LaVisca.
Biggest example of 1 year to the next. Look at LaVisca. LaVisca under Keenan McCardell looked like he was on the upward trajectory. Looked like one of the best young receivers in the game. 600 total yards, 5 touchdowns. You know, the kid, he looked good. Now he's regressed, because I think his coaching is where it's at. Yeah, like Ned say, we could use Cole right now. We could use Keelan Cole right now, and Colin Johnson.
But that's why you got to know how to develop your roster. You don't come in and just say, oh yeah, well, he doesn't fit. You know, he's just not my type of guy. He don't have enough speed, so we ain't got a place for him. And then you don't go back and watch the film. You don't see the heart and soul of what that kid don't have he got great hands, but he ain't got all that talent. But what he got, he got a work ethic. He knows how to run routes. He knows when to get open. He knows how to catch. You got to have guys on your football team is like those those unsung heroes, man, that can permeate the locker room, because they'll see Keelan out there catching 100 balls at practice, and then the next guy says, shit, I gotta be like, man, I gotta catch 150 then, you know. And you can't cut that out your roster, because I don't know nothing about this guy. He came from Kentucky Westland. You know, you gotta go. You gotta know how to construct your roster, man. You gotta have some unsung heroes on that team, because you look at this roster now. I mean, Agnew is basically their number one guy or number two guy. You know, went from punt returner to like the number 2 receiver, and he's getting more targets than Marvin Jones right now. So it's. I mean, you gotta know how to evaluate your talent, man.
True. And I will say this: you want speed, and I'm fine. Go get the speed. But if Allen Robinson is available and he wants to come back to Jacksonville, back the Brinks truck up, because we already know what Allen Robinson is. Yeah, he's not a speed guy, but Allen gets open, and on contested catches, it's his. It's his, you know. Trevor can throw to him all day long, and he's gonna put it in spots exactly where he like it. Oh yeah, dude. Allen Robinson would be a godsend for Trevor Lawrence next year if you're able to get him.
Yeah, well, that's what they need, man. They need a guy that's tall. What he's about 6'1", 6'2".
Oh, Allen's like 6'3". Yeah, he's up there.
6'3". You gotta get a tall receiver, which you had, and you just sent it packing. Got to get speed, and then you gotta get your offense where you getting them in open space, and you setting your offense up where they can make some plays. That these guys always have the. I mean, I done seen too many 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5s. And they catch 3-yard passes.
Yeah.
You know?
Shoot, look at the receiver we faced Sunday, Michael Pittman. Michael Pittman leads the league in yards on 3rd down, and he killed us on 3rd down, especially early.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. See, Ness say Allen is a 50-50 ball hawk. Yeah, Ness. Allen Robinson is one of those guys where he almost prefers a guy to be in his hip pocket because then when the guy's right on you, he knows what to do. He can shield a guy, use his body. He can jump over just about any corner he faces. He's bigger. He's more physical. Yeah, man. Yeah. I mean, you got to get guys who are playmakers. You can put the ball in their hands and special things are going to happen. You have to find more of those guys. So we'll see what happens Sunday, the rest of this year. I mean, the rest of the season is just an evaluation of everything you have. So I want to see everything and the kitchen sink. I want to see it all. I want to see everybody. If a water boy can play, put him on the field. Damn it. Like, I want to see it all, man. I want to see it all because going forward, you need to know exactly where you need to improve and what you need more of because it ain't just the starters. You got to get depth as well.
Yeah. Quality depth, not just
quality.
Depth. Quality depth.
Yeah.
They need to start evaluating those offensive linemen too.
Yeah.
If I don't want to see anything else, they got to change the offensive line, man. And they might have to change your center. You know, he's hurt. He's hurt too much.
He stays hurt. Yep. Yeah, he stays hurt. Plays well, stays hurt. So we'll see, man.
But you might get a receiver, might get something that they can trade him. Who knows?
Yeah. Who knows, man? Who knows? But we're gonna wrap up the Jags talk there. We're gonna wrap up with some NBA talk. Oh, but before we get into the NBA, I gotta talk about my guy, Mr. I'm Back, Cam Newton. I mean, you couldn't script a better return to Carolina for Cam Newton in his debut. I mean, dude, he's only been there a few days, and I didn't think he was really going to play at all. But he comes in, he scores 2 touchdowns, he throws one, he runs for one. He has that where he take the helmet off, he goes, I'm back, and now he's in line to start against Washington this upcoming Sunday. They have a defense, I think that's like 3rd overall. I mean, that defense in Carolina is ferocious. Stephon Gilmore can still play. What do you know? And they have a really good team. Christian McCaffrey is healthy. Don't know how long he's going to be healthy, but they say since he's been back, no one has more targets than Christian McCaffrey. I mean, the dude's a ball player, man. So, but Cam Newton, I'm so happy for Cam because it should have never gotten to that point where they were. $56 million, 4 draft picks, and you went right back to Cam. It's crazy. That's insane, man. I don't understand. But they have a chance to make the playoffs, man. They are a threat. Even with the dismantling of Arizona Cardinals, Kyler Murray and DeAndre Hopkins didn't play. Got it. But going forward, man, especially in the NFC, I think they can contend. Yeah. He's talking about Cam looked like a dude who needed a job. That hunger hit different when you was out of work. He was starving. He was starving, man. Woo-wee. Yeah, you're right. He looked like a guy who's like, I ain't going back to the streets. I'm going to make this count.
Yeah, well, that's good. It's good for the league. You know, go back home, go back to the team that he was with, he started his career with, and have he's back starting, right? He's the starter.
Yeah, he's supposed to be the starter Sunday.
And who they got?
Washington.
They can beat the Reds. Oh, they can beat Washington. I don't want to say Redskins. So they can beat the Washington football team. Yeah,
they can.
Even though I watched a little bit of that Tampa Bay game, boy, they really they went after the Bucks, boy.
Hey, I seen where they're talking about Bruce Arians and how they say Bruce Arians has to tread lightly now a little bit because he's called out the defense, of course, and they're saying you got to be careful with that. But one of the things they say he needs to be careful of is his criticism of Tom Brady. They say the difference between Arians and Belichick is that even though Belichick didn't seem like the most cuddly guy, he didn't openly criticize Tom Brady in the media. Yeah. He never did that. He's never done that. They say he rip him in private in front of the team and all of that. I remember Chad Johnson talked about it when he first got there. His they had they had a film session going over their games from the year previous where they won the Super Bowl. and they say Belichick lit into Brady the entire time, and they say it set the tone for the rest of the team because they like if he does that to Brady, shoot, he ain't gonna have no issue doing it to me. But Belichick never criticized Brady in public, and Bruce Arians has done it on a couple different occasions.
He did it last year too. So
yeah, he
the
did.
Bucks got to get a better cornerbacks, man. So they got
I mean, they hurt. They hurt. All their corners gone. Those guys they gone. They hurt. Yeah, it's not, and there's nobody coming to save them either. So they're gonna have to figure it out. And now their run defense is suffering. Dude, the boy, Gibson was toting the mail on him, man. I was like, man.
Yeah, he was. He had some good runs.
Yeah,
even the quarterback marched them down the field. Like, they scored on their first 2 or 3 possessions.
Yeah. Sherman, I think, is still hurt, man.
Yeah,
I think Sherman.
Hurt.
Yeah, he's hurt. So
I
Sherman
think he might
hurt.
be out for the year too. I don't know.
I think he is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, there's no help coming for them, man. That back end of that defense is going to be an issue against teams that can throw the football. They couldn't cover Terry McLaurin. Top receivers, they're going to have an issue with them because they don't have anybody who can cover them, man. So
yeah. Might be hard for them getting back to the Super Bowl, man. That's why it's not done them much to be repeat champions, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's. I said that though. I said that injuries were going to derail their season, and it's starting to. Yeah, Tampa has a lot of injuries on defense, don't they? Yeah, they almost their entire defensive backfield is gone. I think they only got one starter left from last year who's still healthy right now. The rest of those guys are guys off the street.
And then we talked about Brown. He may not. They might suspend him, man.
They missing Gronk too. You don't have Gronk as a safety valve. And Brady is. I said that. I've been saying this about Brady for the last couple of years. Is that with old age, as far as athletes go, it's not that guys can't play anymore. It's just that they can't consistently put together great performances like they did in their youth. So they're going to have dud games. Brady had about 5 or 6 games last year. You was like, yo, he looked like an old man. Yeah. And Sunday against Washington, he looked like an old man. He looked like he was all of 44. You know, so he's going to have those games where it's duds. It's just, and it's random. You don't know when it's going to come. You know, so I would never count Brady out until he's out. Listen, trust me, until they've eliminated from playoff contention, I'm not doing it out either, man. I'm not.
So let me ask you this, man. If they get knocked out first round of the playoff, you think he's coming back?
First round of the playoffs, will he come back? I think so. I don't think that's a bad taste in his mouth. He wouldn't like that. So if they get put out first round, he's probably not coming back. But even if they win it all this year, I don't think he's retiring. I think he's gonna come back again.
Yeah. I don't think they win in the Super Bowl this year.
I don't think so either. Yeah. They'll make a run. They'll make the playoffs. Because now the Saints, they're Alvin Kamara's hurt. And now your quarterback's gone. Carolina does look good. They're gonna have to contend with Carolina. And then the Falcons are the Falcons. I mean, it is what it is. So they can win that division for sure. But against going against the Packers, the Rams, the Cardinals, if they're healthy, it's going to be very hard for them to beat those teams.
Yeah, Super Bowl winner might come out the West, man. Yeah.
Oh man, the NFC West.
Yeah,
the AFC West. Okay, yeah.
NFC West.
Yeah. They might come out. Oh, let's see. What did that say before we move on? Say if Tampa makes it through the playoffs to the Super Bowl, I'm going with Brady. Oh yeah, like if they make it back, depending, I don't care who is the opponent in the AFC. I'll be very hard pressed to pick whoever the AFC participant is in the Super Bowl if Brady and them make it back. Only way I would say I would pick if and that was one game, but if Patrick Mahomes gets back to being Patrick Mahomes, against those corners, hoo-wee.
Yeah, they look better the last couple of games, though.
They do. Yeah, they do. So, but no, we will see what happens and what goes on. So we're gonna move on from this NFL talk. We're gonna wrap up with a little NBA. One of the things I've seen so far is like we talked about the Warriors and how the Warriors, Steph Curry looks like 2016 Steph Curry. He looks like an MVP, Hall of Fame, all NBA player right now. They're playing great defense. I think they're top 5 in defensive efficiency. They look like they're back. Hold on. Let's see. Did y'all talk about dude? Yeah, we talked about that earlier. Ness. We had a nice. Go back. We talked about young Dolph first, and right after young Dolph, I think around the 16 to 18 minute mark, we started talking about Zach Stacy, and we really we got into that, man. And that right there, dude, is going away. Ness. There's no excuse for that. None.
Yeah.
None, man. So, but the Warriors look good. Chicago looks good too, man.
Yeah,
Chicago looks good.
Yeah. I like the way Memphis has played. They I mean, John Morant looks like a superstar. He got that inside-outside game. Who else?
Hold on. Didn't they say Zion cleared for contact, ain't he?
Oh, the Doughboy.
Doughboy's been cleared for contact. You know, after he done eating his beignets, he cleared for contact.
Even when he come back, he ain't gonna help that team.
No, they look bad.
I watched them 2-13, 2-14. The Knicks look pretty good. I mean,
Knicks look good. Miami,
that Morant
look good. Morant, Morant is a beast.
This dude here is Dwayne Wade with better legs. I mean, he can spring up, he can jump, he can handle the ball, he can shoot the outside. He's a more complete Dwayne Wade to me.
Yeah. He said, Uncle John, stop, Doughboy. He laughed at that. Dude.
He is, man.
Yeah.
Did you hear about they were playing where they play? I think they were playing in New York somewhere. And all the crowd was all he heard was fat jokes.
What? I didn't hear about that. People cruel, man. People cruel, man.
Yeah, I mean, no, they was in DC. They were playing the Wizards, and
they was hurling fat jokes at him.
Yeah, they was like that's all they heard was like, "Hey." Because I think the story started like they had like the whole arena. They had a bunch of trainers and dietitians at the arena sitting in the stand trying to get a minute with them. And then some guy hollered up, started saying, "Hey, you need to do my exercise program." The guy eating a pizza.
Oh man. And see, and that's all it is with Zion is that I don't feel bad for him. I don't feel sorry for him because you have access to top of the line nutritionists.
Oh, there ain't no question, man.
And you have access to doctors, trainers, people that can help you keep that body in shape even while you rehab an injury. And it's his eating. That's all it is. You can't work out like you did when you weren't injured. So his eating didn't change once he got hurt. His eating stayed the same.
He's got to mature, man. If you're gonna be the number 1 overall pick, then you got to act like it. You know, you got to put nothing in front of being a star. You know, that's more than working on a jump shot. You know, he's got to get physically in shape and never get out of shape.
See, when Charles Barkley calling you fat, it's a problem. Dog, when Charles Barkley said that he looks like if me and Shaq had a baby, I lost it. I lost it, man. I lost it. It's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous.
Oh, boy, what says, man? Do you think that he can play 3 quarters with the Golden State Warriors running that offense like that?
By middle of the second quarter, he'll be doubled over. Sucking wind like that pace they play at.
Yeah, I want to talk about that pace. I say, man, this guy probably, even when he come back and return, he probably won't be in shape until end of January, early February at the earliest.
Yeah,
that's just how he looks, and you compare what his size was at this same time last year to now, he's completely out of shape.
Yes. Yeah, he is, man. It's all right in here. You see it, man.
Yeah.
It's all in here, man. It's when your face gets fat.
Yeah, he ain't done nothing. Whatever. I don't know with his foot problem, whatever he got, but he has done no physical exercising at all. You know,
at all.
Yeah.
And then too, you gotta factor this in too. He may be to the point where he's like he don't want to play for New Orleans no more.
I don't think he does, though. To be honest, I don't think he's engaged with that team.
Mm.
And man, it's understandable, man. I don't know if NBA basketball gonna work out there for the long term, man. I just it just seems like I look at Memphis. Memphis has a lot of similarities to New Orleans, and you just look at how Memphis they got a plan, and they got, even though the Pelicans beat them last week, but the Grizzlies younger players, I mean, they just seem like they have implemented their plan better for the future than New Orleans.
More building blocks they have.
Yeah, they got Memphis. The right pieces around Morant. They got young, good players. And it just seems like they, even though they made that trade at center, it just seems like in 3 years from now, Memphis is going to be a playoff team, and that Pelican team still going to be rebuilding,
Yeah. So Ness say he should just come over to the Jags at defensive tackle. No, Ness, tight end. Put him at tight end. Hey, he's 6'5", almost 6'6", dude. He's 300 pounds now, so he'd be like another lineman. But dude, in the red zone, it's a wrap. Can't nobody out jumping. So
man, they already said on NBA Game Time he should be playing for the Saints.
I did see that. They said, what kind of person decides to eat his way out of a contract? Wow, what a strategy!
Yeah, and the number 1 overall pick. That's
yes. Man,
my Pelicans, man, they just always take it on the chin. They get the superstar, the first superstar, Byron Davis wanted out. The second superstar, Chris Paul, wanted out.
Yeah, Anthony Davis
demanded out, and now this guy gonna eat himself out of town.
Yeah.
They might be going to Seattle somewhere, man. It's just, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
They just that's a Saints town, man. I don't know if basketball gonna make it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And Seattle wants another team. So yeah, this is right, man. He said to my Zion taking it at the dinner table. Hey, I saw a meme. They got a meme of him at it when he got drafted. He was crying.
Yeah.
And so they said when they say people eat or that you're gonna get your food in alphabetical order. And so, his name's Zion, so he's going to be last, and they got him crying. That thing's so funny to me, dog.
Nah, he going to always have his hot plate in the room, man.
And New Orleans was one of the worst places for him to go.
Yeah.
The food, man, the food is like
you get
everything.
A full course meal at 3:00 in the morning that tastes just as good as it did if it was at 7 at night.
Yeah.
Just like the alcohol, you can go get food any time of the night, and it ain't Waffle House.
Yeah, right.
Oh man, with this guy, man, it's gonna take him 3 months at the earliest to get in shape.
Yeah,
and then who's to say he won't get injured after he comes back too?
Yep, this is true. You see, you talking about that Joker sweating gumbo? Yeah, he is sweating gumbo. He's extra hot sauce.
Gumbo, yaki meat. Let me see what else they eat down there.
Beignets. Killing them beignets, man.
Breakfast food.
Hey, he probably a crawfish hound.
Yeah, crawfish, catfish, any fish. He eating it.
Yeah, he eating it. Man, yeah. So Zion got to get it together, man. I think in this season, man, going into it, I've never seen to where he said, "Okay, let's go laughing." I've never seen to where the the supposed title contenders from the East and the West, who are the Lakers and the Nets, look so bad. Like they look both of them look awful. Now the Lakers are without LeBron James. The Nets are without Kyrie Irving. But dude, I mean, they look bad. Yeah. Both of them. They look bad, man.
But Golden State ran circles around. It got so bad with the Golden State that, man, they just took they took the rant and it's hard not the game, man, with like 9 minutes left in the fourth quarter.
Dude, they said that the crowd in Brooklyn was chanting MVP every time Steph Curry touched the ball.
Yeah, he was that good in that game, man. He was good. Yeah.
Yeah.
But they got a good squad, man. I watched them last night. They played Cleveland, and they were basically going through the motion, man. Cleveland got a good team, man. They got a good young team. And it just seemed like on a bad, it was their bad. The Warriors wasn't playing at a high level, but they were just getting, they were just within range. And then they just, after halftime, they just like, boy, that ball started moving.
They're like, oh yeah, we playing Cleveland. Let's get it together.
They got it together after halftime. The ball started moving, man. They had Green was making the threes. That they got a good team, man. There ain't no doubt about it, man. Those guys got a franchise where they took it on the chin for 2 years. And now they about 12 players deep.
Yeah, they are. And Clay still isn't back yet, just yet.
They got
I don't think James Wiseman isn't back yet. So I mean,
Wiseman
it's
Thompson is out.
Yeah. So it's going to be scary, man. I'm looking for right now early prediction finals matchup: Milwaukee, Golden State. That looks like what might happen.
Well, Milwaukee got to start turning it up, man. They like sick. Drew Holiday out. I don't know who else out for them, but man, they got to lose.
I think they'll right the ship. I think they'll eventually right the ship. Outside of them, Chicago and Miami looks good. Lonzo, props to Lonzo Ball. Lonzo Ball came in, and it's partly because of his dad. And I understand that dad's, bragging on his son. I got no problem with that. But his dad, and Magic Johnson put a lot of unneeded pressure onto Lonzo coming into the league. Him being drafted number 2 overall by the Lakers, Magic saying that his jersey gonna hang from the Raptors in the Staples Center one day, his dad saying he's better than Steph Curry and all of that. That put pressure on the kid. He came in and now he's able to just play basketball. And he's improved his shot. He went from this right here, like where he was shooting like he over here, and he's brought it over here now. His 3-point percentage has jumped from I think 33%. Now he's up to 44 this year from his rookie year. He looks really, really good.
Man, he's found a home, man. I think he's free agent. He was able to pick the place and And they got a good young. I think what the Bulls did, they got good pieces. They got a good fit.
Yeah. You see, Lakers look like a reality show from Compton. They do. They look dysfunction, man. Dysfunction. I mean, Anthony Davis. Did you see what Tracy McGrady said about Anthony Davis and talking about him and Dwight Howard?
What is
he
that?
He said that the fact that because Anthony Davis was on the NBA top 75 all-time list, and Dwight Howard didn't make it, and he said T-Mac said at no point if Anthony Davis retired today, has he had a better career than Dwight Howard? He said because I think about it, before he won that championship, he wasn't regarded in the same light as a Dwight Howard and what Dwight Howard put together. We're talking about 8 years of 8-time All-Star. He was a Defensive Player of the Year, All NBA defensive team like 7-8 times. I mean, Dwight Howard had a Hall of Fame career, and Anthony Davis is not there yet. And now eventually will he get there? Yeah, he's played. In the next 5 years, Anthony Davis, I think, will definitely get there if he continues to be assertive and go on the upward trajectory. But him being in there over Dwight Howard, I got an issue with that. He hasn't had a better career.
I don't know about that one, Brandon.
You think he's had a better career?
I think he's been hurt. I mean, I just think after Dwight Howard left Orlando, I just don't think he's fit nowhere. When you got a guy that's a top 75 player don't play for 10 different teams. This guy done played on 7 different teams since Orlando. When he was with the Magic, hey, he was good, but I think he's been a little unstable. I think he's been like
he's been hurt a lot.
He can't get along with people. He's been to Houston, he's been to Lakers, he's been to Charlotte, and it just seems like he done lost his niche. You know, I mean, when he was in Orlando, you know exactly what he was. He was a guy that can score inside, he can run the floor, he can do this, he can do that. And basically right now, if you look at his career, the last 6 years of his career, he's basically been a journeyman. You know?
Yeah.
A top 75 guy don't go to this team, that team, unless you like LeBron and you winning a championship, but you don't go to Charlotte, then go to Atlanta, then go to something, you know, and I think you got to look at his, when you talking about the top 75 players in the league, you got to go from how the career started, how it went from the middle, how it goes to the end. And a third of his career, he's bounced around too much, you know. I mean, he you know, it's like, I mean, he even been waived a couple of times, and it's hard to argue a superstar that's been waived from Charlotte. I think he got waived by the Hornets. So he said,
yeah. He said if Howard played as big as his shoulders, he'd be regarded as a more accomplished player and not just a journeyman circus clown.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like when he went to Orlando and he took that team, you know, to the finals against the Lakers. I mean, he was like all business. I mean, it was like, man, it was hard trying to get around that guy. And then it seemed like once him and Shaq start talking stuff about, you know, who's the real Superman and I like the fact that he wore the Superman costume for the dunk contest to win that contest in 2014. But it just seemed like back then everything was focused on back. You know, he didn't get along with the coach in Orlando. You know, they had some issues, but it was like he wasn't distracted. It just seemed now it's just like he just, you know, he looks physically, he's there. Everything looks the same, but it just seems like he just not that same guy. Not the dominating guy.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think injuries have robbed him of the second half of his career because ever since Orlando, he had the torn labrum that he had to deal with when he was with the Lakers. He had the quote unquote butt injury when when he was with Washington. Houston, he was always nicked up. So I think that
look at that Washington. I don't even remember when he was with the Wizards. I mean,
yeah, right.
You go back on that 75 list. How many guys done played for 10 different teams on the top 75 list? Man, it's hard to find a guy that played like 9 different teams, man.
Yeah, but Anthony Davis, though, we have to remember, dude get a paper cut, he's out. I mean, we gotta that happened. We got to remember that was a part of his career.
But man, when he's on,
he was on. He could score on anybody. Great defender.
My biggest question with him is he's got to learn how to take over the game. He's the deferred man for LeBron. You know, if you wanted to go to a winning franchise and you bailed out of the Pelicans to go to the big market franchise, then you got to be the guy every night, not the nights that LeBron is hurt. You got to be and right now he's not a superstar. He hadn't performed like a superstar for the Lakers.
No, he hadn't.
Either he's hurt or he got kicked out. He got thrown out the game for tying his shoe up the other night. Because he didn't get out.
Oh yeah, what was that about?
He cussed out the referee, but hey, you can't be halfway in and halfway out the game and don't think the man gonna hold the clock for you. Come on, man.
Yeah.
But when he's on, he's on. But he's got who knows? The Lakers may not be a right fit for him, to be honest.
No, it may not be. So let's see. We're gonna do a little comparison here. Let's bring up. So Dwight Howard. All right. So 8-time All-Star.
Yeah.
2-time block champion. 8-time All-NBA.
When the last time he been an All-Star? What year?
No,
was
it's
that?
been a long time. It's been
Yeah,
a long
well,
time.
How long? Let's look at the stats. How long he's been All-Star? Well, we got to go back to like 2012.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Yeah, how long? I want to know how long.
Let's see.
You said 8-time All-Star.
So hold on, let's see.
213 was it 213 in New York? When the last time he was All-Star?
Let's see.
What
doesn't
team
say.
that was? He may not have been an All-Star since he left the Magic.
It might not. I'm thinking that he was an All-Star since he's left the Magic. But I'm gonna go and see. I'm gonna see what years were that he was an All-Star. Let's see. 8-time All-NBA, 2005, 2004 Rookie of the Year, 3-time Defensive Player of the Year, 5-time All-Defensive, 2020 NBA champs, 5-time was that rebound champ. So okay, so you got that. Let's see.
Let's look at the bottom. Let me go pull up his stats. Let me see when the last 6 years, what is he average? What is his rebounding compared to his scoring?
Okay, so the last 6 years. So let's go to what's the game log, split, shooting. So let's do game logs. Let's see. All right, so this is per game.
Yeah,
so
like what is his minute per?
So so if he left Orlando, he's averaged 17, 18, 15, 13, 13, 16, 12, and for the last 2 years, 7.5, 7.
7.5.
4. Yeah, like these last 3 years. I mean, he's been a bit player, so he hasn't been a starter. So the last time he was a starter was in Washington. That's the last time he averaged double digits. So when he's been a starter, he's averaged double digits every year.
How many games did he start with the Wizards? What year was that?
So Wizards. Oh, nah, that's only 9 games. He only played 9 games with the Wizards. So
has he played? When the last time he played a full 82 game season?
Last time he played full 82 was 2009, 2010. Where he played full
Lord, that's games. 10 years ago.
Yeah, that is. That is.
Woo!
Yeah.
Hey,
that's
a long time. What team it was when he played the last 82 games with? The Houston?
No, that was Orlando.
He hadn't played a whole 82 game season since Orlando?
Since Orlando. Yeah. Now he's played 78. After Orlando, he played 76, 71. He's played 71, 74. He played 81. What's this? 2017.
He played 81 games in 2017?
Yeah, for the Hornets. Yeah.
Yeah, the team that cut him.
Yeah. So I mean, it is what it is. So let's go to Anthony Davis. Let's see. Let's stop that screen and let's go to Anthony Davis. Let's just see what Anthony Davis.
I bet you Anthony Davis' career scoring average is higher than
that's no question. I mean, off top, his career, he's averaged 23.9 for his career. Let's see, what was Dwight?
About 18, 19.
I think it's like 18 or 19. So let's see. Now, Anthony has never played 82 games. So that's never happened.
He never played, yeah.
So he's played 64, 67, 68, 61, played 75 twice, 56, 62, 36, and currently he's played 16 games.
Well, 36 was what season was
the bubble? That was the
okay.
bubble. Mm-hmm. So let's see. No, that wasn't the bubble. That was the bubble year. He played 62 games. That was last year when he was hurt. and they got put out in the first round by the Phoenix. So 8-time All-Star, 3-time block champ, 4-time All-NBA, 4-time All-Defensive, 2012 All-Rookie, 2016, 17 is the MVP, NBA 75th anniversary team. So far,
there's a way you can project his numbers. If you project the same length of time that Howard has played and project his numbers are going to be much better than Howard over the same time period.
Yeah, overall, overall. But this is the thing: how much longer is he going to play? Because he's played 10 seasons.
Yeah.
Man, it don't even seem like he's been in the league that long, man. But it's been 10 years.
214, right? What was his record? 213 or 214? 213.
2012, 2013.
Yeah, 2012, 20. Damn, been that long, huh?
Yeah, he was a Hornet when he came in, and then they went to the Pelicans a year after he came in. So yeah,
him and Austin Rivers.
Yeah, so I mean, he's had a great career. I think all he needs 3 more years of this production right here, and yeah, of course. But overall, I don't. Dwight being left off the 75th anniversary team, I think is a slap in the face. I do. I think it's because it's guys on that list that I was looking at, and I'm like, I don't know if these guys are that much better than Dwight Howard.
Is Tracy McGrady on that list?
No, he's not.
Well, Tracy McGrady should deserve it ahead of Dwight.
I take him. You got to put him on. Let's see. His career. 16 points for his career. He averaged 16 and 12. Anthony averages 23 and 10. So yeah.
But AD was hurt by playing in New Orleans, man. I mean, no offense to New Orleans, but there were some bad teams he played on.
Yeah.
Bad
so he was supposed to be the second coming to Shaq. Maybe he need to give up Instagram honeys and chase the ring instead of one night flings. Well, he had got married, but it lasted a month to my girl Tia Cooper, who's just gorgeous. But they only lasted a month.
You talking about Dwight?
Yeah. Got married to that girl, and they lasted a month. She should have never married him anyway. He got like 17 kids.
Yeah, like the cheerleaders where he was on the basketball wives and the cheerleader for the Magic who filed a lawsuit against him.
Yeah, he said the biggest edge AD has is he has a better overall game. Yeah, that's just he has a better overall game. He's talking about the softest GA Cotton. It's not a slap in the face. They don't have enough paper to add all of Howard's teams. Okay,
man. It's hard putting them on that 75. I'm playing I'm playing with every team in the league. And we can't put a guy on the 75 list who thought he could take over Kobe Bryant team, man. Come on, man.
Yeah, man.
He couldn't play with Harden. I mean, there were two egos, but it's like they couldn't be. He couldn't fit in with Harden in the Houston. He wanted to fight. He wanted to fight players. I can't even man. Hey, that alone, man. You can't come to LA and take over Kobe team. I mean, come on, man. You gotta learn how to work with him.
No, right.
Kobe wasn't going for that. He couldn't do it with Shaq. How the hell he gonna do it with Dwight?
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is, man. Let's see what else. What else I had? But I mean, overall, just watching the little bit of basketball I have watched, it's been a hold on. He said, "What's going on with Scottie Pippen? He done lost it." Oh my God, I want Scottie to stop talking.
Yeah, me too, just
man. Let it go, Scott.
Man.
Sour grapes.
Hey man, I thought it was Batman is Jordan and you Robin, right? So what else the hell do you think it's gonna be? I mean, come on, man. You was Robin from the get-go.
From the get-go.
You can't be right there criticizing the damn superstar of the league, man. I mean, you got the scraps.
Yeah.
Basically.
Like Scotty gotta stop, man.
He writing books, man. I said, Lord have mercy, man. Let's bygone be bygone. Enjoy the 6 championships, man. We don't want to go back to the 90s, man.
He said, I hope he's just trying to push his book sales.
Yeah.
I hope that's what it is too.
No, I think it's sour grapes, man, because he didn't get.
I think it's sour grapes too. I think he's dead serious. I don't think this is promotion. I don't think he's doing this for attention. I think this is something that's been brewing in him for a very long time, and he has to get it out. So I'm all for him expressing himself and getting out what he wants to get out. I just don't want to hear about it no more.
Yeah,
I don't.
I just want professional athletes, when you done shine in the spotlight for decades, I don't want you on TV no more, man. Just go and just retire. I mean, a little bit, even like Shannon Sharp. I mean, his show can be entertaining, but when you're authoritative on everybody, it makes you like. Now, I can recall Shannon, man. You gonna criticize this guy? And you did the same thing when you was a player.
Yeah.
So a little bit of this, I just wish that some of the. I mean, I think they got too much access to the TV, man. It's like, you had your career, even like Keyshawn Johnson. Man, I've seen Keyshawn like rip on guys, and I was like,
Keyshawn.
Yeah.
Do you not remember how you were, Keyshawn?
Throw me the damn ball, Keyshawn, and you gonna rip this guy?
Yeah.
And he don't give no respect to Trevor, but that's another story. But I just wish some of them, man, you done had your glory. West don't extend it like indefinitely. I mean, let's go and just enjoy life as a retired player and do some other endeavors in life instead of getting on TV and criticize. We in the Charles Barkley syndrome. Everybody is a critic.
Everybody
is a critic, man. It's like
that really happened. That's sad if that happened. He said not giving Jordan condolences concerning the death of his father was done on purpose is taking it too far seriously. Wow. I didn't know he did that. Man, the man lost his father. Nothing. No, you ain't nobody said you got to be there, be a shoulder to cry on, but you didn't at least get a man condolences and try to comfort him a little bit in his time of need and tell him that you're there if you need him. Like, I don't understand that.
But I know this: you cross Jordan, that's it.
Oh yeah, it's man, dude. Kevin Hart said that Jordan hadn't talked to him since he made some jokes about him at a little benefit. Like, hey, this is a wrap.
Yeah, it's a wrap. The same with Barkley. Barkley said, well, he's a great player, but he's a bad GM with the Wizards. They ain't talked to the man for like 4 years.
Yeah. And they used to hang out all the time. Yeah. Craziness, man. Craziness, man. You want to talk about ego? Yeah, that's Jordan.
Just imagine the glove and Jordan in the same room, man. What kind of conversation that'll be?
Shoot, imagine if Jordan was playing today. Ooh-wee. He already said it, though. He said it already that this era, the social media era, where people pretty much got access to you at all times. You say, You say the Bulls, the 90s Bulls, wouldn't have made it. Said he wouldn't have made it.
But I don't know about if they wouldn't have made it. But Jordan would have been. He would have been breaking some guys' hearts. I tell you that. You know what he did to the Wizards, man? I think it was the first time they played the Wizards in the playoffs. He goes into the locker room with what's the Michigan guy who called the timeout?
Weber.
He goes in there with Weber on that team. He goes in the cigar, go in the locker room before the game, and just say, you guys better watch out. It might be a 50 night.
Wow.
And he scored like 56 or something like that, man. So the guy, man, look.
Wow.
Hey, I don't care what era it would be in, he would still be that player, man.
Yeah. Say if the goal is to get a championship, the only people who's complaining about how you won is the people who didn't win. Sit down and count your rings, Pippen. Hey, I said it. I said that when The Last Dance came out, I said that I understand Jordan more now. And I actually like him more than I did before The Last Dance. Because, he had his ways, but it was needed. Because the ends justify the means because you got 6 rings.
Yeah.
You got 6 rings. If he had just been a little less how he was, they wouldn't have won 6 titles. Guarantee it. Guarantee it. And even some of the players talked about it. It was needed. Guys humans are naturally lazy and lackadaisical. Jordan ain't having that, man. He's like, no.
Stacy King. Stacy King.
Hey, who's the guy?
Go look at Stacy King now and see if he didn't have Jordan when he played that first championship. What he'd been like? He would have been just like Zion. Man, Jordan is the best player to ever play the game, man. I don't care what nobody say. He's the best player to ever play the game. Even better. He's the best player to play the game.
Wait a minute.
He's the best player to play the game. I made my conclusion. He's the best player to ever play the game.
Ness love hearing that because Ness a Jordan guy. He said, only go talk like that and then go do it. Give me my 50, baby. Yeah, I mean, those guys, they were cut from a different cloth too, man. It was a different time. Shoot, think about Bird. Say Bird walk into the room right before the 3-point contest. He said, yo, which one of y'all coming in second? Yeah. And then went out there and they gave them all kind of buckets, man. So, I mean.
Let me ask you something, man. If LeBron played back with the bad boys, how many points you think he would have got against them?
Ooh. I mean, does he have what Jordan has? I mean, as far as the team, if you put Jordan on that team, LeBron on that team Jordan was on against the bad boy Pistons, you get the same result. They're going to put him out. I don't know how many points he get, but they're going to lose.
Yeah. Well, he might have been injured.
Yeah, because they beat Jordan. They beat him. They beat him down. They made him lift weights. Yeah, they made him get his weight up.
They beat Jordan for like 4 seasons, man. At least 4
beat him
seasons.
down.
Yeah. They would have did the same thing to LeBron. No matter how big LeBron is.
No matter. Yeah.
I do. Yeah. He would have Lambeer bigger than LeBron.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He would have been the enforcer.
Now I don't buy into that whole. Oh well, he couldn't have played back. Man, LeBron was 6'9", 250 pounds.
Oh, he could have played. Ain't no question he could have played. He would have played.
Yeah,
but,
he could have played back.
But he would have been physical too. But
Jordan would average probably 40 points today. There's no question about it.
Yeah,
no question about it.
Jordan, out of all those players in that era, he probably would have fit the best in this group.
Yes.
Just a guy could come off the wing. He could jump. He could run the floor. He could play with pace. He could have done all that kind of stuff, man.
Here go Nesco. Yes, sir. Hands down, easy to go. Michael Jeffrey Jordan.
I've seen both of them.
When most of the top 50 say you're the greatest, then so shall it be. His peers have spoken. Yeah, that's true. The peers have spoken.
Well, what's the difference? He was the greatest in 98, so you think he ain't the greatest in 2020?
Yeah.
21?
I mean,
Come on, now, LeBron is good. But LeBron ain't better than Michael, man. I'm just saying this is what I'm saying. He ain't better. LeBron ain't gonna get 6 championships. That's the measure.
He ain't gonna get 6 championships. No, that ship is sailed. 6 titles, that ship is sailed.
What do you measure them by? You got to measure them by championships, right?
Yeah, you measure them by championships, but I will say Jordan went to a situation where he didn't have to leave to get a title. He went to a Bulls. But he went to a Bulls organization that got it right, though. I mean, Krause was a Hall of Fame GM. Call him what you want to call him.
But people got to understand, Michael went to the Bulls in '85. He didn't start winning championships till 90. What? When was it? 91?
When Krause came, because Krause came and built the team.
Well, from '85 to '91, You think LeBron would have waited that long to win a championship?
I mean back then, you had no choice. There's no player mobility back in the day. I mean, I will say this. Think about this. If Jordan gets drafted by Cleveland in 2004, like LeBron did, 2003, 2004, if he gets drafted by Cleveland Cavaliers, he leaves in 7 years, just like LeBron did, to go somewhere else. He does.
I don't know.
He does. Come on, Dan Gilbert.
I don't know about it.
You think Jordan?
Let's pull up them records. See what the record was of the Bulls in 85, 86.
Oh, they was bad. I know
exactly. What we saying?
He couldn't go anywhere.
He didn't hire Jerry Krause. He didn't hire him.
No.
I mean, that was the owner. So you can't pre-predict, like, you know, how do you know if he would have went to Cleveland and they would have got a GM like Krause in Cleveland and they would have worked out?
Dan Gilbert is awful. That's the whole thing I'm telling you right now. Just like Dolan, Dolan in New York. Dolan is terrible.
Man. If you would have watched the 85, 86, 80, I mean, they had like drug guys on those teams, man. They
called them the traveling cocaine circus. Oh yeah, it was bad. It was bad. It was awful. It was awful.
But back then, one of the worst teams that he could have been drafted for. The Bull wasn't drawing anybody at Chicago Stadium. His situation might have been worse than LeBron when LeBron got drafted by Cleveland.
Oh, no question.
But what are you saying? Like, he gonna bail out? I mean, he wouldn't have bailed out of that situation in Cleveland, just like he didn't bail out in Chicago.
Well, if he got drafted by Cleveland back in the day, no, he doesn't bail out because he's going to be there. But if he gets drafted today by Cleveland, like LeBron did,
talking about today?
Today, yeah, I'm talking not back then.
Okay.
I'm talking about today. Yeah, no matter where he would have went back then, I think he would have won championships. No matter where he would have went, it's now depending on how many he won, depending on the team and what they put around him and how well they drafted and acquired free agents, of course. But if you put him in Cleveland like LeBron did in 2004, he's gone out of Cleveland in 7 years, just like LeBron. He's gone. Yeah. He's gone, man. Yeah. Now, LeBron, you put LeBron in that Chicago team, I think you get and give him Pippen and give him all those pieces too. LeBron win championships. I don't say he wins 6. I don't say he wins 6. But he win titles with the Bulls.
Yeah. Well, he would have won titles with a. You could have put him on Golden State. He would have won titles.
Yeah, he would won titles.
But that's almost like saying Bill Russell would have went to the Lakers and played with Kareem and Magic, and he would have won a title. You know.
Well, we know what that would look like. That would have been nasty right there.
But there's no comparison, man. The guy is the greatest ball player to ever play. I mean,
and Jordan did all he did while not being the highest paid player in the league. Oh, and that was egregious. That was egregious right there. The reason they make the money they make today is because of that right there. The way they did Jordan. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, he made more money and endorsements than he made from the Bulls.
Craziness. And then they tried to make up for his last 2 years by giving him 30 and 33 a year or something like that.
But you know what they say, man. The real truth about Jordan probably was better as a player, a complete player, when he was on those bad Bulls teams than when they actually started winning. I mean, he was averaging like 36 points a game on those early Bulls teams. And when they played Boston, Lakers, I mean, he still had 36, 37 point games.
Oh man, what was that? 62 he scored in the Garden?
Yeah, 62. On Bird. Half of them on Bird.
Yeah.
He put about 46 on Dominique. Now Dominique could defend him. You know, he could jump with him, he could stay with him, and he still scored 42 on him.
Yeah. But I will say that I'm a LeBron guy because I came in LeBron era. If I was born back when Jordan was in his heyday, I'd be a Jordan guy. It's an era thing now.
Man, it's just the guy LeBron is good, man. It ain't no question about it. It's just You know, I mean, they were different style players in a lot of ways.
Two totally different players.
Yeah, I saw LeBron personally beat Detroit, literally by himself in that series, man.
25 points.
Yeah.
25 points. Yeah. He scored the last 25 points for the team.
The last 25. Now, I'm talking about that that good Pistons team with
good Pistons coming off of 5 straight Eastern Conference finals.
Yeah. Hamilton and I can't think of the guy.
Tayshaun Prince.
Prince.
Wallace, Ben Wallace.
Ben Wallace, yeah. Mm-hmm. And he was taking it to the hole on Ben Wallace on half those points.
Rasheed Wallace, oh yeah.
I saw them lose that first championship, you know, when they played San Antonio, and he was like basically a young kid. You know, they ain't had nobody on that Cleveland team, man.
And then I seen video of his teammates that before he got drafted, them basically saying that, you know, basically he ain't all of that. Like, you know, they're basically talking down and talking down on him a little bit. I saw that. Darius Miles, Carlos Booz, and them talking about, well, you know, he's one guy, and you know, basically saying that big men carry the league. I think one of them said, yeah, big men carry the league, and he's not a big man. Like they talked some trash about it before he came, but they say it wasn't long before he was in there before he shut him up.
Yeah, I'm sure of that, especially Darius Miles.
Darius Miles.
It used to be Darius Miles' team in Cleveland before LeBron came to town.
And I ain't heard about Darius Miles since LeBron showed up.
Yeah, exactly. But LeBron, man, you can't take away his greatness, man. But there's a different element of their greatness, man. You know, you can't diminish either one. You know, the only thing you can compare the championships, but man, both of them was a beast, though. I mean, it ain't no doubt about that. And then probably go down as being the two greatest players ever. I mean, let me ask you this question: do you think that they're going to be another player at both their level that they're going to surpass those two guys?
Jordan and LeBron.
Yeah.
It's very hard to say that. Yeah, we would have one, but I'm going to lean towards. It won't be for another decade plus or so.
Yeah,
I don't think anybody that's currently in the league or any of the young guys that's coming out now are even close to that level. Because LeBron coming out of high school, I mean, you had Shaq and them going to his high school games when he was a sophomore in high school. Like anytime teams would go into town to play Cleveland, they would go to LeBron's high school games to watch him play.
Yeah.
He was a top prospect, top football prospect as well. He's one of the top wide receivers in the nation. I don't know if you're going to get another guy like that anytime soon. And then Jordan he was an alien. He was a freak. I mean, the man literally looked like he was walking on air. Yeah. I mean, so I don't know if you're going to get any guys like that.
But some of those performances, like when they played Seattle in the finals, I mean, Jordan had to be great for them to win that season because Seattle was good. But actually, Seattle might have had a better overall team than the Bulls that year.
Yeah.
And the Bulls went like 7. I think they were 72 and something like that in that season. But that's probably was his hardest championship, other than maybe that Utah series or so, that last one.
Yeah.
Just being an older guy. But Seattle had a good team, man.
They did.
You know.
Rain Man.
The Rain Man was the Rain. They couldn't stop the Gloves.
Yeah. You get no love.
Yeah, that second one where they beat the hell out of Portland, that was no contest.
Yeah, no contest.
And the LA one, the first one, LA was old, you know.
Yeah, they were. But you know, we'll see how the rest of this NBA season shakes out. So far, my favorite, of course, Trae Young. Trae Young is playing great basketball right now. I love watching that kid play. Ja Morant is one of my favorite young players to watch.
Yeah, he's good.
LaMelo Ball is my guy, dude. Yeah. That kid can absolutely play, man. I think the league is in good hands though, because life without LeBron in the NBA is coming. We see it now. The man, he hasn't missed many. His nickname was Iron Man, but dude, he strained his oblique, and they said he's gonna miss a week, and he damn near missed a month. So I mean, he's towards the end, and I think it's a new league, and I think they're going to be in good hands. These kids, you got a lot of good kids coming up, and hopefully Zion can get on the Atkins diet or do some keto and be a part of this young group.
Don't count out them Minnesota Timberwolves. That kid Edwards, man, he might be better.
Oh, and that's another one, man.
He might be better than Zion. He's big like Zion, but he can shoot from the outside, man.
Yeah.
And you know, like the guy that I'm impressed with is Randall with the Knicks, man. You know, Randall.
Julius, yeah.
Yeah, he was like the only thing he could do was dunk.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's a guy that he can shoot that shot from perimeter 3-point.
Hello, Ben Simmons.
Yeah, the guy worked on his game, you know.
Yeah,
the Knicks not bad, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say it forever. Gilbert Arenas said it, man. He said you can tell who puts in the work because they get better.
No
he said there's not a time where you put in the work and you don't get better.
That's another edge that AD got against your guy, Dwight Howard.
Mm-hmm.
When AD came in the league, he couldn't shoot 10 feet from the basket.
Yeah.
And
you're right. He's a dunker.
Dwight has never shot a jump shot. I mean, he's never been a guy shooting from the perimeter. He's a hell of a guy inside the post, but he's never extended his game.
Yeah. This is true. You see, what is going on with Wade and Gabrielle? I don't know. What's going on? Something happened. What's going on? What happened? Do I need to Google something? Let's see. Dwayne Wade.
Oh, his ex-wife done got.
I don't know. Let's see. Dwayne Wade, Gabrielle Union. Yeah, what you talking about specifically, Ness? Because I haven't heard anything. Yeah. Let's see. Now I did see where they were talking about she made up this whole thing about him having a poster of her on his wall when he was in college, and he was saying that no, that's not true, that he didn't have a poster of her in college or something like that. But I'm tired of them too. Just like Will and Jada, I want them to shut up too. Like I understand. I like the glimpse into your relationships, and you basically showing us that y'all human too. There's no power couple stuff, and you flawed just like everybody else. Cool, got it. Shut up now. I don't want to hear no more about it. I'm done with it, man. You see, Dwayne Wade, he revealed in the interview the room of his wife allegedly planted in the media. He said disclosed that Union's claim of him owning a poster in his college was false. Yeah, that's the only thing I've seen, Ness. Oh, he said, yeah, that's it. That's what he's talking about. So yeah, let's look at this real quick before we get up out of here. I mean, we in overtime now. We about to hit 3 hours, so we didn't already cover all the topics.
Yeah,
so,
we done had our debate, man.
Yeah. Yeah. So it says Wade, who attended Marquette University in Wisconsin from 2000 to 2003 before being drafted by the Miami Heat, said when asked about the poster rumor, it's a lie. He further elaborated that Union could plant the story because the actress is widely known. He said, so my wife is a bigger celebrity than me, and she gets to come on your show and other shows way more than I. So she planted this story. This is a planted story. This did not happen, people. He said towards the end of the conversation, Wade shared that it wasn't a poster, but a magazine that he kept. He jokingly said, now I had the magazine that she was on the cover of, and it probably was under my pillow, but it wasn't on a wall. Don't disrespect me like that. Like what? Why are they talking about this? Like, who cares, man? Like, why would you? Well, who cares about you dispelling the rumor? You married the woman, so what?
Yeah, it seems like they try to create so they can stay in the news.
So Ness, this is my conclusion, Ness, on this right here. They're trying to stay relevant.
Yep.
That's the only thing I can think of, man. You're trying to stay relevant. You're trying to stay in the news cycle.
Is she still on TV or in the movies or what?
No, her career is done, man. She's a over 40 actress. Hollywood don't shine on it. It's only a few actresses that keep careers after 40.
So
and she ain't gonna be one of them.
Ain't no more Mary Jane or whatever that show was on BET.
No. And she's an okay actress, but she pretty much played herself in a lot of those roles, man.
Yeah.
Like Owen Wilson. Owen Wilson the same way. He played himself in every role. That's it. He say, yeah, Will and Jada and their weird kids is overrated. Yeah, like they gotta. I don't want to hear about that no more. I don't want to hear. Will talking about he jealous of Tupac, and because Jada never had a love she had Tupac for him, and I'm like, okay, I'm done. I don't want to hear no more. Cut it. Cut it, man.
Information, man.
Oh. And then she talking about how it was hard to maintain sex life in the bedroom. I'm like, God, please, man, let it go. Stop it. I don't want to hear no more. Uncle, I'm crying, Uncle. Stop it. I don't want to hear it no more. But that we're in a era of oversharing. Like
oversharing just to be.
We know too much about people. Yeah,
we know too much about man. I feel just like the NBA players who hadn't played in 10 years, man. I'm tired of get off the TV. Go take a cruise or do something retired folks do, man. I'm tired of seeing Will still making movies.
Yeah, he's I gotta see his new movie. He plays Richard Williams, Serena and Venus's dad.
Oh,
it's called King Richard. Yeah, it looks good, man. I gotta see that.
So that's out now?
That's out now. And he just put his book out. My mom said it's really good. His book is really good. He's like, yeah, just stop boring. Go enjoy having more money than worries. Yeah.
But Jada not doing nothing, right? What's she doing?
No, man. She got the red table talk, but and a lot of this too is you could tell they got together because Will thought she was fine, and Will was an ascending actor. That's why they got together. There was no love there.
So they help each other careers?
I'm guessing. Say he does a phenomenal job in King Richard. Yeah, I've heard nothing but great things about him in King Richard. But yeah, they got together because she was pregnant. That's why they got married. She said their wedding day she was crying because she didn't want to get married, but she got married because they were pregnant. And Will talked about it too. They basically showing you that the whole persona of their relationship and what they had going on and them being that perfect couple.
Yeah.
No, they're two broken people got together and they holding their relationship together with duct tape right now. That's what it looks like. That's what it looked like to me.
Well, she never dated Tupac. They were friends. I think they went.
That's what she say. And she said they never did anything, but
yeah, okay.
The way she talk about him, I don't know, man, but it is what it is.
Yeah, go ahead. They went to the performing arts school together, man.
Yeah, he said the first time that he saw Jada, she was going in to be casted as a role on Fresh Prince, and he said he said he was eating his lunch at the time. And he choked on the chicken that he was eating because she was so beautiful. I was like, oh, God, come on, man. Come on, man. That's never happened to me. And I've seen some fine women in my day. Yeah. Like I've seen some gorgeous women, girls I've been eventually were head over heels for. At no point was I just so in awe and enamored with the world. Like, come on, Will.
Yeah, that's what happened when I saw Princess on the playground at Harborview Elementary.
You just so taken aback by her beauty. Yeah. She was just so this and
almost choked on my honey bun.
Choked on your honey bun. Oh my goodness. Oh man. I wanted to stop. I don't want to hear no more. I don't want to hear no more, man. He gotta stop. They gotta stop. Man. That's enough of the sharing.
Yeah, man. They trying to share black love, man.
Well, if that's the case, then they showing that black love is hella dysfunctional in modern day.
Yeah. Well, she done made some crazy movies anyway. So.
Yeah. Yeah, he said, I watched King Richard today. It was awesome and a tearjerker. Great movie about a father's determination and belief in the greatness of his kids. Yeah, Yeah, man. That it's a viral video.
Well, what channel this on, man? I ain't seen that. What channel I can see that movie?
I think it's in the theaters.
Oh.
Yeah. It's in theaters. Yeah, it's in theaters. He talk about Uncle John, not a honey bun.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And, oh, it's on HBO Max. You can see it on HBO Max. So, and yeah, it's they got on HBO Max, and I think it's in theaters as well. Yeah. So, man, I appreciate everybody for tuning in.
Antenna on top of my roof to get that. Then.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah. Man, I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Follow me on all my social media. Follow Mr. Reid on Twitter, Jacksonville.com, Florida Times-Picayune. Man, this was another barbershop talk, man. This is the shop talk right here, man. You come on in and get it all out, man. You can have those debates. Let's see, if you got a fire stick, you can see it also. Oh yeah. If you got it on you got the jailbroke fire stick. You know, yeah. They got the apps now where they got all the movies and shows on it now. So man, you know, it's the illegal downloads and illegal streaming has
ain't illegal in my house.
It ain't illegal in my house either, dog. It's not legal in my house.
It's called Amazon Fire Stick streaming.
Any game, any sports game that's on, it's countless sites that's gonna show it to you.
You know, there's different rules. There's a cable rule and there's an Amazon Fire Stick rule, man.
Right.
Because I love my NBA package.
Yeah. Yep. Oh yeah. Yeah. He talking about I see everything on John. Oh yeah, you gonna see everything with that, man. You gonna have everything.
Right. That's why it's a Fire Stick.
Yeah.
Cause I ain't dumb enough to pay cable, pay 100 and whatever, man. Please, I used to pay that kind of money. I ain't paying $185 no more.
No, I'm not.
I don't care what the world says. I'm not paying it.
Nope,
I gotta
not paying it.
Cheaper options. I'm broke.
Yeah, straight up, man. But like once again, appreciate y'all for tuning in. We'll be back next week with more sports coverage. We are out of here, y'all. But until next time,
you got the Jaguar hat on. Now, what that means? I hope you win.
Oh yeah, man. Hey, this too. You see that too?
Man, look at oh man. All right.
Yeah. This was back when they did that color rush and they gave us those god awful mustard uniforms. Yeah, man, that god awful mustard with that two-tone helmet. Ugh. Yeah. It is what it is, man. Yeah. Yeah, man. But see y'all next time, man. We are out of here. Peace out.